Okay, we are live. All right. Wait for a couple people to come on and then I'll get started. Uh Humble Brat Vortex, welcome. Good to see you today. This early show. I think this is the earliest I've ever went live. Ever. Uh just give it a few minutes. Hope everybody got my all right. How's it going? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody gets the notifications and probably people are still asleep. On the West Coast they are probably. Um Today, um I'm gonna do a show and it's if you've seen the title, it's talking about love letters. Okay. And I got this idea from you guys. Those of you that watch me gave me the idea of writing my wife a love letter, and it's a good idea. I mean, and today with the internet and everything. Hey, hey, Nairstone, how you doing? Good morning, afternoon, everybody. Depending on if you're on the East Coast or West Coast. Um, right now it's 10 a.m. on the West Coast and 1 p.m. on the East Coast, and then in between, you know. Um, But I want to talk about love letters. You guys gave me this idea to write my wife a love letter. Okay. And it's a good idea. We don't write letters like we used to, right? Because of, the internet and stuff. And, we could send a text or an email, stuff like that. Um, but a letter is more personal. It's something you put some work into. You could send somebody a text and, that's loving and nice, but a letter is to a lot of people more personable. And so I've wrote my wife a few love letters. I know I used to back in the day, um, but kind of got out of it. Not that I didn't want to, it just times are changing. But I've been writing her love letters, and love letters is a good idea when you're in a relationship. Just tell someone you love them, and put your personal thoughts into it, and it just another way to showing you love somebody, right? Um, you know, in my marriage, me and my wife, we do stuff for each other because we love each other. We have our special times that we set aside for ourselves, uh, at least once a month where we do something extra special, just me and my wife, to celebrate our love. And writing a letter can be a way of celebrating your love. I mean, we celebrate our love every day, but, we do special things for each other in between. And, today, um, I was talking about, and actually, I got this from Corey. He was saying, well, not the love letter, but a part of it. He was saying like writing a letter to your future spouse, the person you're going to marry. Someone you don't even know yet. And that ideas came from other people. And I wanted to do this show kind of like that, where you can write a letter, and if you could come on and read it. If not, I would just suggest write a letter about your future husband, future wife, and you know, write it to where they're to what you want, and showing your love. Of course, you don't know them yet, and you can't really uh hit on all their positive qualities and stuff. But you're writing that letter, kind of you're telling yourself what you want, kind of, sort of, in a way. Um, but the love letter thing, it's a nice thing. The first one I wrote after you guys told me to do it is, you know, and it wasn't, I'm not smooth with the words, and I'm not like a poet where I could just put things together and they sound great and beautiful. No, but I did put my heart into it, and I got a good reaction from my wife. She got emotional because she knows where my heart is, and I was putting it on a piece of paper and giving it to her. And you know, through relationships, we need to show each other we love each other. I mean, my wife knows that I love her more than anything in the world, but she wants me to tell her that once in a while. I know she loves me, but I like hearing it. As human, it's uplifting, even though you know that person loves you, but to just tell them, show them, you know, and it helps create a strong relationship, and especially through the years as you get older, men and women go through some things, and just showing that you love each other through your journey of life, it has a lot of meaning, especially more so as you get older, you know. And love letters is a good way to keep your relationship strong. Okay. Um, but anyway, I wrote a love letter to my wife, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay. And this is just recent. This is like a rough draft. When I write a letter, I kind of write it. When I write one to my wife, I want it to be special. I want it to be the best I can do. Like I said, I'm not a good writer. I'm not a poet by no means, but I just want it to mean something, and I want to put my heart into it. If I could only just uh, when I'm speaking, speak what my heart's saying and get it in the right words. I would be a much better speaker. Things would come out and flow better. But it just is what it is. But I'm gonna read this letter, and if you guys, I'm gonna open up the link. If you guys want to come up and talk and share a letter you wrote, or not, that's fine. Or you know, we could talk about this subject. But I think it's important to show each other you love each other. I've heard so many times in relationships that people have been married a while. Like the woman might say that he don't show the same attraction he did when we were younger. He don't do the same nice things he used to do, and vice versa. Guys will say, she don't seem like she's into me like she was when we're 20, now that we're 60 or whatever. um as we get old, we get used to each other, we get in our habits, and sometimes we don't show the love like we should. And the love letter is a great idea of doing that. Pouring out your heart to that person you love. They know you love them, but they want to hear it too, you know? And, happiness builds a strong relationship. Security, knowing that you love that person, that person loves you, you know? And it's uplifting. It makes you feel good. When my wife tells me she loves me, I know she loves me, but it feels good to hear her say that, you know? Yeah, she does. Sandy does appreciate my letters, and I'm not a professional writer by no means. I'm just an average guy that just wrote her a letter how I felt. And like I said, I wish I could speak with my heart. It would sound 100 times better than what it does. But I got to work with what I got to. But she appreciates that, and in a relationship, you always appreciate when that other person does something special for you, does something loving. Um, you know, but I'm gonna read this here, and I put this letter together, and I wrote it down because you know I I don't have it memorized all together yet, but I just wrote it down so I could reread it and then put some other stuff in there, and make it sound as good as I can before I give this to her. And I haven't given her this letter yet. You guys are the first to hear this letter. I've wrote her a few of them already ever since you guys made that suggestion, and it was a awesome suggestion. Okay, and then this love letter here is to my wife, Sandy, and I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, "Sandy, my love, I loved you even before I met you. I prayed for you. You are a dream that turned into an awesome reality. You are a prayer that turned into a blessing. I give you my heart and ask for your love for eternity. I love you. You are more than a queen. You are my love. You are my treasure. You are my wife. You are my everything. I love you. Then I loved you then. I love you now. And I love you for eternity. I love you always and forever. I love you, my wife. All right. It sounds kind of simple and it might sound kind of corny, but that's just something, I put together and it's in my heart. She is my everything. She means everything to me. I prayed for my wife and I loved her before I met her. I really did because I knew God was going to bring me a good wife and he did. And when I met her, I loved her. And I loved her then, I love her now, and I'll love her for the rest of my life, for the rest of eternity. And in that letter, I'm just expressing how I feel. And she has my heart. I give her my heart, and I just ask in return is for her love forever. Um, and she is more than a queen. She's my treasure, my love, my everything, my wife. Um, and just saying words like that are meaning, and I would suggest you're in a relationship, you love that person, write them a letter, tell them something like that. You know, and it's always nice to hear, "Hey, Corey, how's it going?" Uh, it's always nice to hear, you know, that someone loves you, someone that you love, even though they love you. It's always good to hear it. It brings you together. It just and especially through the years as we get older, because we get set in our ways, we get used to things. We get in our routines, and you still got to do things together. Me and my wife still do things together. We still go out and eat together. I'll take her to the movies or take her somewhere nice. And people always tell me, they say, you know, I always, when you're off work, I always see you with your wife. Well, yeah, that's my wife. That's who I want to be with. Um, you know, but don't let it get stagnant. Don't let it, you love each other, but do special things. Write that love letter, you know. And I'd say, guys, do that. Give your wife a gift every now and then. Show that love. Even though she knows you love her, you still got to tell her. Okay. And I'd say, ladies, tell your husbands you love them. Write them a letter and just, you know, and we need that as humans. We need that uplifting. We need that, positive input in our lives. And my wife telling me she loves me means a lot to me, even though I know she does. You know, yeah. Good. But anyway, that was my love letter, and I'm gonna put the link up. If you guys want to come up, you can. I'm not going to make this a super long show, um, because I got I got some people coming over today. Some friends, my family. We're going to have a barbecue and celebrate the new year. Okay, and when I do celebrate New Year's every year. Um, me and my wife aren't really into going out on New Year's and getting in the crowds and stuff. We've done that, but we like to just have a cookout at home, have family and friends over, and do our thing here. Um, and that's the plans we got today. And I kind of did something different. Can you guys know? Do you guys notice what I did different than I do any other live stream? If you notice, I always wear a jersey, a hockey jersey. Right now, I'm wearing a football jersey. I'm wearing a Cowboys jersey. My wife bought me this for Christmas, so I thought I'd kind of change it up. This is my favorite team. I know a lot of people out there don't like the Cowboys. A lot of you love them. It's one of those teams you love or hate, but that's what makes football fun. Um, but anyway, I'm going to continue to wear hockey jerseys on all my lives, and after I get all 32 teams the hockey jerseys, I'm going to start wearing another type of jersey. I don't know what sport I'm going to pick. Uh, Humbly Complex. Hey,
Hey,
welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
how are you? Good to see you again.
What's
How
that?
you holding up? How you
Uh,
holding
do,
up?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I think this is the earliest show I've done. Earliest live stream. They're all usually late. Well, I've done a couple at noon, for my prayer meetings and stuff. But
hmm
I'm doing good.
I, I
Uh,
I did appreciate your letter that you just read about your wife. That's really heartfelt and very commendable. You know, did appreciate
your
your letter
letter
that you just read about your wife. That's really heartfelt and very commendable. You know, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Letter that you just read about your
Okay.
wife. That's
I
really
I think I'm getting
heartfelt
an echo.
and very commendable.
Uh, oh, well, thank you, humbly. Uh, Complex or Brat Vortex. You got two profiles.
I think it was me.
Oh, you.
Hi.
Hey,
Good
how's it going, Sarah? Good to see you.
to
Uh,
see you all.
Humbly Brat Vortex. I was having a little
Good to
bit
see
of
you, Sally.
trouble hearing you. Maybe you could turn up
Okay.
your
Can you hear
volume.
me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. That's better. I'm sorry. I kind of missed some of the stuff you said. I know you said you appreciate the letter, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciated your letter.
Go ahead.
No, I wanted to let you know that it was funny because I did bring this up to one of my couple of my coworkers, and they don't do that anymore, like writing letters. It's
Y-
surprising. They feel that it's outdated and it's like just the point.
Yeah, they don't, and it's kind of sad because we need to show each other we love each other, especially in a relationship. Even though they know we love them, it's uplifting just to hear
Mm-hmm.
it. And letters are personable. Letters mean something. I could send a text tell my wife I love her, but it don't mean as much as writing out a love letter. I could type
Yeah.
her a love text, but it's not the same. Uh, People don't receive it as personal like a letter. A letter is meaningful. Um, you know, and yeah, we get
I
away.
did write one.
Oh, you did write one? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Uh,
Did you want to read it or?
it's just a rough draft.
Okay.
It's up here.
Is it for your husband?
What's that?
I was asking her if it was for her husband.
Oh.
Yeah, my future, and the like way
Oh,
distant.
okay. For your
Yeah,
future husband. Okay.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, like Back to the Future. You know.
Okay.
Um, I, I said, can you hear me though? I just want to make sure because it's really hard. I'm in a Barnes and Noble right now, so trying to do.
Hmm.
I wanted to
Yeah, it's
do it
kind
in my
of.
hometown, but
Yeah, I can hear you. It's kind of low. I don't
Just
know if
kind of,
it's a
yeah,
volume setting.
kind of muffled.
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of muffled a little bit.
I'm muffled.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
A
Let me
little
just
bit.
give me one
Okay.
moment. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
No worries.
I'm gonna leave and I'll be right.
Okay. All right. We'll give her a chance to get set up. How you doing, Sarah? You
I'm
doing all
doing.
right?
I woke up just a minute ago, so I mean now
Oh,
I.
okay. Yeah, this is the earliest I've done a live stream. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she needs to take her mask off. That might be muffled. Maybe that's what it is.
So
But I don't know if where she's at the ladder. I don't know. She looks like she's in a public place. Um,
yeah, please come back. We want to hear it.
yeah, we do. I gave my little letter. Um, but yeah, that was brought up from people watching the show. They said, "Why don't you write Sandy a love letter?" And I was like, and I have in the past, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what, I should. Um, because we get away from letters, we gotten away from because of technology. When we want to communicate with someone, We'll send
Mm,
them a text or an email. We don't really write out letters anymore. But I did in the past, and when I was in the army and stuff, I'd write my wife letters and stuff. I had a bunch of love letters, and she saved them all. And my daughters were going through and reading them and stuff, and they were
oh,
clean. They were clean letters. They were nice. And they even got emotional with it. So I mean, it was meaningful. My wife, it meant so much to my wife that she kept them. She never threw them away. She saved them. And this
honestly,
is
yeah. You said what? Sorry.
no, I was just saying that she saved the letters, and this was, back in the '90s, the early '90s and stuff. And they were, and the neat thing is my dad's actually got love letters from my great grandmother, from my great grandfather in the like 1900s and stuff. So that
Wow.
the love letters mean something. It's pretty cool though. That's some real history there. Uh, hey,
Okay,
humbly.
is
Hey,
this
you're
better
back.
now?
Thank you.
Uh,
It sounds, yeah.
sounds a little bit
Oh,
better.
okay. Um,
Maybe
I'll
because
just
of your
use my.
mask.
Yeah, maybe your
Oh,
mask is muffling a little
Mm,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
mm.
We're in New York, so it's mandated. So
Yeah,
Oh,
in the,
where I'm at, it's mandated too. But uh,
all right, I'll read my letter real quick so that I can let other people come on because we don't know how
okay,
many people want to do it. But
yeah,
I wrote this one, and I just said, "Dear beloved, you are the most unbelievable, extraordinary, craziest man I have ever met. This sure fact you are willing to be brave enough to marry me is a lot. From day one, I really expected things to go different directions. And yet, after my failed attempts of planting landmines and my Empire State sized wall I built around myself over the years, still here we are face to face. In so many ways, you, my beloved passionate soulmate, have made me more grateful that Jehovah God allowed me to have another round in life. When we met, we grew to be bounded together from the years, months, days, and seconds. I'm more grateful to Jehovah not letting my willingness to end my life in 2016 to be successful. God, by his power, refused to let me comfortably live in a dark void. Because he knew I would never have the chance to have met you. Darling, you continue to give me breath even when
oh,
we're doing our own private thing. You inspire me to embrace things that I've often taken for granted. As we take our vows in front of those who care and love us and always want us to be happy in every way. I look upon your face and say yes now, and I will always say yes to loving you forever. We also know we are living in critical and often unpredictable situations. We always disagree at times and do on many occasions, but I'm happy we can still work it out with either a good one liner, your favorite food, but most importantly, with my love. I give you my strength, my spirit, my whole self. Just as Jehovah God had made it clear how much he loves us. And I share the same commitment as it is written in Hosea 2:19. I will engage myself to you forever. I will engage myself to you in righteousness and in justice, in loyal love and in mercy. I will engage myself to you in faithfulness, and you will certainly know, Joe, I love you, my love, now and forever.
oh, that's so sweet. That's so beautiful.
oh, that was really nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
That was awesome.
That's
All
beautiful.
right.
All right, I'm gonna go off so that I can let somebody else come on. But
Oh, okay.
I appreciated that we could do this for each other.
Yeah, that
Sarah,
that
you
was
have one.
that was nice. I know your future husband's going to love hearing that. He'll be like, "Oh yeah." Really nice. Yeah.
All right, I'll let you guys.
All right. Thank you, Humbly Vortex. Uh nice letter. Awesome. Uh we'll
I
see you.
don't have I don't have a love letter, but I was gonna share one of my relationships in the past.
Okay.
Um, he's he was my best friend's brother,
Uh-huh.
and he they were really they were in this other religion, and it was kind of strict. Like it's not, you can't really talk to a girl. Like it's kind of like not prohibited, but it's best not to talk. So we were really young, like kids,
Uh-huh.
and whenever I would call his sister, he would just like snatch the phone or try to talk to me, and I would tell him, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to you, to your sister, and she knows about this. But I think it was one of the like the it was one of the times where I really enjoyed. Um, it was kind of innocent, like those things I was talking about, old fashioned and innocent.
Yeah.
So it was my birthday, and then he wrote to me. He said hello, and then he wrote to me, "Happy birthday," and he prayed for me as well. I hope that you succeed in life and in studies. He was 1 year older than me, and I always acted like I didn't like him, but I did like him. And the reason why I did that was because of the religion. Like I was trying to apply the religion,
Yeah.
like to be respectful. And what's funny is that I listened to God, like to the rules and everything, and still I didn't get him. Like I prayed for him and I still didn't get him. Like he didn't see what I was trying to do. Like the guy that liked me. Like I was
Mhm.
trying to show him that I like him in a really respectful way. Like I'm applying what God wants. And in the end he just married somebody else. Last year he got married.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
that happens. I know in my past there were, a couple women I wanted to marry. I had big love for them. And I thought, "Man, this is it. This is my wife. This is this." And I prayed about it and I thought God's going bless, but it didn't happen. And even though we have a lot of love for someone and it feels right, it looks right, it seems right, sometimes that's not the one for you. And
Mhm.
a lot of great people come together and date and it don't work out, not because they're doing it wrong. It just it's not in God's plan sometimes. And but God will bring you someone that you'll love and that'll love you, and you got to pray about it though. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been in that situation, a couple times. I almost got married a couple times before I got, married to my wife, and I thought these women were it, and they were great women. Nothing was wrong with them,
Mhm.
and it wasn't that we did things wrong. It just didn't happen. Why, I don't know. I mean, I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Well,
y-
he gave me a lot of message. He gave me a lot of letters. He gave me like he would give them to his sister, and
oh, okay.
then she would give them to me. He would give me like tests as well, like for practice tests, like tests that he got really high grades in because he's really smart. Now he's a doctor, and he actually ended up in the same hospital where my brother was working. And I mean, I told my dad a lot of times that I liked him, and I tried to like do it the right way, but like if I want to say something, I don't know, I'll just say that I don't know, like what did you expect me to do? Like I can't just come up to you and say I like you. Like I tried to tell you in a very respectful manner. But anyway, my best friend was like, I never suspected it. I was like, well, I was trying to follow the religion. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pray about it, and yeah.
Yeah, and don't fall in a trap that a lot of people do. They think because they didn't do a certain thing that now they got to just open themselves up to other things to get a quality, mate, or you know, because a lot of times we fall into stuff like that and we do stuff we shouldn't do, thinking that there's women that might give themselves up to a man because they think that that's the only way to get a good relationship or a husband. It's the wrong way to go. But people fall into that trap. And there's people out there that'll tell you to go that route. But doing it God's way is the best way. Um,
Yeah, I have
and
high
but
standards.
yeah, but we fall in that trap because we say, well, this person was great, and maybe if I did a little more of this or that, and a lot of times with women, they'll fall into that, and but you pray about it, do it God's way, and sometimes we meet awesome people that would make a good wife or good husband, but it just don't work because it's not meant to be. I mean, uh, you know, but a lot of times we get in relationships where we jump into it and it's not meant to be, and we get into it and it collapses.
Mm-mm.
But uh, that's just something you got to pray about and vet that person and try to do it God's way. Don't blame that. It was just something that wasn't meant to be. Um, don't steer away from God's plan because it didn't work out with someone that was wonderful. Um, just that wonderful person belongs with another wonderful person.
Mm.
And I've been through that down the road. There were two women I thought, man, this is my wife, but it didn't turn out that way. And they're great people. Um, in fact, these women today are married and have families, great wives. They just weren't meant to be my wife. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
But I got a great wife. So I mean, you do it God's way. It's the tough way, and it might take a little longer, but you'll get the blessing in the end, and that's what you want. You know.
yeah, I
Uh,
do think that love letters is good. With this we're talking about right now, love
yeah.
letters and words of affirmation, words of affirmation, gifts, and all the love languages is important. That's what I think. And also, loving communication is
Yeah,
like
it is good. You're communicating, but you're showing love also, and it's uplifting. Um, my wife loves the love letter. She said, "Okay, write me some more." I'm like, "Okay, I got
Mhm.
to go to work." But no, but it's just a way to show love, and you get in a relationship a long time, and you get in your routines, and you don't show the love like you used to. Um, and it don't mean you don't love that person, but through the years, they want that love you had in the beginning when you were in your 20s. They want, and both men and women want that. Um, I love my wife, telling me she loves me, being excited to be around me when we were first dating. And she likes me to show that, you know, she's wonderful and great. And, back when we were dating, I would kill myself to spend time with her. I would make time. And,
Yeah,
as we grow older and in that relationship longer, it's good to show the love. It's good to still, carry that. And people that do that, you'll see them out there. I seen this couple, um, the other day walking through the neighborhood, and they had to be in their 80s, and it's just this man and woman, husband and wife, and they were just holding hands, walking down the street, just smiling, happy, and talking to each other. You could see the love they have for each other, and they're way up in age. And you think, how does that work? I see my grandparents being married for like they were married like 75 years, and um you know and my grandfather, he lived to be 99 and a half, but I mean, always happy. And with his wife, she passed before he did, but they were always happy, they were always together, always, you know and and they carried it. And a lot of times in relationship, we don't carry that love, we don't express it, and we need to. And the love letters is a good way of doing it. That's not the only thing you should do. Do things together also. Um, you know, and when you have that time together, whether you're spending time together, whether you're being intimate, in your marriage, make it a big thing. Make it special. Make it huge. It should mean everything. That's what you should push forward. Don't get in the routine like, yeah, this is just what we do. And no, make it special. Make it, and a lot of it is just showing your love, letting them know you love them. A letter, doing something nice. Even a compliment, goes a long way. But a lot of times we get numb to that stuff in relationships. Um,
Sometimes
and it,
it's just looking in her eyes, like
yeah.
just look in her eyes like for a very long time or something. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna step off. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I'll let you. Y'all have a wonderful day and have fun and happy holidays.
Yeah. Same to you. Happy New Year's, and thanks for coming on. I enjoyed
Thank
your story, and but yeah, we go through what you went through, and but do it God's way, and it's not you. You're doing it right, and it's going to pay out. It's going. You'll be blessed. Um.
God willing.
Yeah, you will be. But thanks for coming on. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you, got all of you. Thank you. God bless.
Thanks. God
Okay.
bless you, Sarah.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay, see a few people jumped on. Justice Love, good to see you. J10, good to see you again. Amber James, good to see you. Good to see you guys on the live. And that was a good letter from Humbly Vortex and Sarah sharing the story she had, and that was awesome. Um, and the simple love letter I wrote, it does carry weight. It means something, and it's special. And I'm going to rewrite this, and hopefully my wife don't see the show before I give her the letter, so I'm going to have to work fast. But I'm going to get some nice paper. I'm going to dress it up a bit, make it look nice, and then I'm going to give it to her tonight. I think I'll tell her not to watch the show till after New Year's. I give it to her as a New Year's thing. I got some gifts I'm going to give her, but I'll give her the letter with it. Uh, you know, um, but guys, love letters is special, and especially in an interracial relationship. You got the outside interference and the haters and stuff, always picking at your relationship, trying to, you know, mock it, trying to turn it into a failure. And love letters another way for you guys to bond together. Um, like I said, it really means a lot now because we don't write letters now. You know, we're too busy on our phones. Sending a text out, uh, an email. That's not the same meaning as a love letter. Love letter, you put work into it, you put your heart into it, and it might sound corny to you, but to your wife or husband, it's going to be special. Um, if I took this to a professional writer, he'd probably laugh in my face, like, "What's this?" But it comes from the heart. My wife will take it like she'll embrace it. Um, you know, yeah, I miss the days with handwriting letters. Yeah, you know what? I kind of miss it too, and I got away from it. Wasn't even thinking about it when you guys brought up this thing about love letters. It made me think. When was the last time I wrote one? And it was like, when I was deployed in the army, I wrote my wife several letters and a lot of love letters. And she kept them. They were special to her. I was surprised she still had them, but that made me feel good. It's like, wow, that's special to her. I felt the love just knowing she still had them. And my daughters, when they read them, they felt, man, this is neat, you know. And but it means something. It's personal. It's personal. Um, I enjoy being a charismatic invert. The haters don't even know I'm ignoring them. Yeah. Yeah, and don't worry about the haters. The haters are hating. You know why they hate? Because there's something missing in their life. And maybe they want the love that you guys show. Um, Maybe they hate seeing interracial relationships because, and look for the ones that fail because they see a lot of them that are successful. A lot of people are happy. And maybe they want someone to love them. And sometimes haters are hurting. Sometimes they're not just being hateful. Maybe there's something missing in their life. Um, and I never understood why it would be a problem interracially dating, especially when it's black women and white men. Um, Black men, they date and marry out 3 times what us white guys do. I mean, so I don't know where, if you're doing it, embrace the others for doing it. We don't need to fight about it. Just let us live our lives. Let us be blessed. And I pray you're blessed. Perfect world, we think that way, right? But it is what it is. But you live your life, you know, and be positive. Uplift that person you're with, your wife, your husband. Um, and if you're in a relationship where you're dating and you're might be going in that direction of marriage and stuff, and it's serious, show them love. Um, you know, and it's more than just them knowing you love them. It's more than we need to show it. I tell my wife I love her all the time. Okay. She don't ever tell me, well, you know what? Okay, you told me you love me 2 hours ago. Can you slow down on that? No. She's like, oh, keep saying it. I love it. And she could tell me she loves me 1,000 times a day. I'll take it. I'll embrace it. I love it. You know, even though I know she loves me, I want to hear it. And as humans, we love being lifted up. And that's, ingredients of building a strong relationship, keeping that relationship strong. Keep your eyes and your heart on each other. Uh, hey, you're waiting on your husband like another $1,200 stimulus check. Well, you get the right man, he'll be worth more than the $1,200 stimulus check. But um, anyway, um, if you guys want to come on, the link's still up there. Um, if not, that's fine. And I hope you got a little bit of my letter. As basic as it is, it means something. So don't worry about being smooth with the words. Just you showing that love means a lot. Okay. Yeah. Words are an affirmation of love language. Yeah. Love letters do wonders. They do. And, and they are important. So, get out of the things that's going on today and kind of go, to the old school type love. Write out a love letter, you know. And guys, show that love for the ladies you're with. You know, Open up that car door, show her you love her. Treat her like a princess. Treat her like the treasure she is. And guys, it ain't weak to show love for a woman. It's not. Okay? Just because you're showing her love don't mean that you're doing just jumping when she says jump or doing whatever she wants you to do. No. That's just showing you love her. Okay? Yeah, as men, we're leaders. We're supposed to be leaders. We need to lead, but we got to also show love too. And that's not a weakness. That's what a man's supposed to do. Show his wife he loves her. Um, you know, that ain't weakness. You ain't got to treat her like crap. I don't know where that stuff comes in, you know. And when it comes to situations, sometimes as men, you got to stand your ground if your wife's wrong, but do it lovingly and respectfully. And guys, you might be wrong. You might have to just bite the bullet, say, you know what? I was wrong. Um, the young generation calls men that show love simps. Yeah, a lot of them do. Um, and I think they get it confused with a man that's just led by the nose by a woman. I think that's the definition of simp. I don't know it fully, but from what I understand is it's a man that just does everything the woman says and just kind of weak and goes along. If she wants it, he just does it, whether it's right or wrong. And I think that's what the definition is. But a man that shows love, that's not, if you consider that a simp, that's to me that's dumb. But I've seen people, they think you're weak. Some people think you're weak if you show love towards your wife or girlfriend or or show a little emotion. I mean, you know, if you tell your wife you love her and a tear comes down, that means a lot to her. That shows you love her. That's don't mean you're weak. That don't mean you go around crying every day. I show emotion at I get emotional when I talk about my wife because I love my wife. When I see my kids doing things, I'll get emotional. And there's nothing wrong with that. Men are women are a little bit more emotional than men. Yes, they are. But us as men, there's times we get emotional. Nothing wrong with that. And show love. That's not a weakness. You know, a man that truly loves his wife and doing what a man should do, he's going to have a little bit of emotion, and he's going to put her needs above his. That don't mean he he does everything she says. That means he's making sure that she's provided for, has shelter, food, shelter, the basics, and doing nice things for your wife every now and then. That's not a weakness. Putting their needs above your own is not a weakness. That's leadership. And as a man, as a husband, father, we're supposed to provide for our wives and children before we provide for ourselves. That's, you know, true love. That's being a man. That's a man. Okay. But yeah, a lot of young people, I think they get that confused with the emotion and the love to being a weakness. Um, and that's not it at all. Um, but I, but anyway, I mean, love letters. That's a good way to show affection, and I want to just share that. You guys shared that with me, and it was special when I started doing it with my wife. And I love your morning starts. A kiss on the neck, and I love you. Please close that ear with your Batman voice. uh, I prefer the Joker. Oh, here's my Joker. Got Batman and Joker here. Yeah, these things I collect. These are Lego clocks, and I think they stopped making them. But I thought they looked neat, and I just started collecting them. And I'm going here in my studio here. I'm going to do some work. I'm going to have later on. I think I'm going to build some shelves in the wall, and then display like my collectibles and stuff, and maybe put a neon sign, give you guys a better background when I go live and stuff. Um, but guys, show your love for that special lady, that special man. Show them. And this don't just go for interracial relationships. Even if you're in a marriage, whatever the race of group you're in, this stuff means a lot. You know, people in general, we're alike when it comes to wanting to be loved, wanting to be lifted up, wanting people to think you're special. We love when people love us, don't we? And we get down when people hate us. That's just a natural human thing, you know. So the love letters can go for any group, and it's good for the interracial thing because you get the outside interference and just another way to show you love each other. And guys, and when you're in an interracial relationship, don't fear that confrontation. Don't fear the haters. Don't fear that propaganda. In fact, embrace it. Because here's the thing, if you could take all that in and just push it away and show that that's the woman you love or the man you love and you could care less what they say, that actually brings people together. It strengthens your bond. It did with me and my wife, just seeing each other go through some things because we're interracially married. We see that and we feel the love. Okay, she's standing up for me because she loves me above family, friends, society, race, you know, that embrace that because that fight brings you together. It makes you stronger. you know Go ahead, give me a dirty look. Do it. I'm going to be happy regardless of what you think. Give me your stereotypical opinion on the matter. I'm still going to be successful. Me and my wife love each other. We're in paradise where you're sitting there hating on us, worrying about our relationship. Isn't that kind of funny? People that worry about a stranger's relationships got, issues going on in their own life, you know. And it's kind of funny. The Both me and my family and my wife's family have less of a problem of us being married together than strangers out there. In fact, they accept it, you know. I felt nothing but love from my wife's family. And my family loves my wife. And maybe that I'm in a special situation. Maybe I'm just blessed that way. I don't know. Maybe other groups of family aren't like our families. But even if they, didn't accept us, it's our family. That's what matters, not what they think. It's crazy getting involved with knowing his. Yeah, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes the man or woman might be in a family that's racist, but that don't mean he or she is. They could love you more than anything, and that's what matters. Because when you're married, you have your own family now. You're no longer with your mom and dad and brothers, sisters. This is your family now, and that's what's important. And the most important person in your family is your wife or your husband. Point blank. Nobody else matters at that point. What they think or society darn sure don't matter. You follow society's advice, you're going to end up in tragedy, really. I mean, because what does society want you to do? Society's always changing. Society looks at you as successful if you got money and you're popular. Well, a lot of Hollywood marriages fail. A lot of beautiful celebrities get married two, three, four, six, 7 times. You know, I just, but that's society. I mean, they're looked up as the perfect marriage, but it isn't. You know, the marriage that works is a man and woman that come in that relationship with their heart, with love, and clinging to God. That's what makes it work. That's what made my marriage work. It's not that me and my wife were geniuses at relationships. No, we're like everybody else, but we came with our heart. We came with love, and we asked for God's guidance. That's the only thing that sets our marriage apart from any other marriage out there. And why do theirs fail and ours don't? Because we love each other more than our problems, more than what people think, more than what society thinks about us. But, you know, and that love letters, I I always show my love for my wife, and why wouldn't I? And I like getting it back in return. I like her showing love to me. It's a beautiful thing. Um, but yeah, family influence is important because you will have to deal with them on some levels if you get serious with the person. Yeah, I mean, family's going to have an impact. I'm not saying it's not, but if you really love that person, you got to go through it. For me and my wife to be together, to be married, we have to deal with people that hate our relationship. We do. Um, but we love each other enough to do that. We love each other to put each other first. And even if my family didn't accept it, I would have still married my wife. They're not deciding my life. Okay. Fortunately, I have a loving family and so does my wife. So it was easy for us. We didn't have family issues when we got married, you know. In fact, the issues we had were people on the outside, but but yeah, you want your families that's right, Thelma. Yeah, you want your family's acceptance, sure. And you don't get it, that's going to hurt. But my thing is you know, when I went out, when I was dating, when I got married, this is my life. This is what I want. And nobody's going to take that away from me. Me and my wife's marriage, nobody's going to take that away from us. We love each other. We want to be with each other. So we can deal with what people think. Um, but you know, if you really love that person, you're going to have to go through it. And if you got a mom or dad that don't like it, you're just going to have to go through it. I know it's easier said than done, but if you really love that person, you'll put your husband and wife above everybody else, and you should. If you can't do it, you shouldn't marry them. I'm just saying. Uh, oh, okay. I'm gonna put this comment up there. I appreciate this. Okay. And what she said, I appreciate your channel. Even though me and my hubby are both black, the message about sustaining a good marriage is appreciated. Black women is a breath. Yeah. And you know what? That I appreciate that. And being in an interracial relationship, I'm not bashing two black people getting married. I'm not bashing two white people getting married. Marriage is a beautiful thing when you find the right person, and the right person, the racial group or you know ain't going to determine how good that person is. It's character, and some of the stuff I talk about can uh, can go for people in the same racial group getting married. Um, just standing for that person, putting that person first. And like I said, I promote interracial relationships, but I do not attack relationships that aren't interracial. I'm not a fan for one hating the other. This is the path I chose. This is my life. And I know there are people out there um, that deal with some of the issues I talk about. Some of the people, the propaganda, the stereotypes, the hate they might feel, and I just showing them that you can be in an interracial relationship. You can make it work. You can do it. You know, you get good character of people, it can work. Regardless of your racial group. Okay, and because I support interracial love, that don't mean I hate black love. Why would I? I embrace love of all. Okay. Um, So, and I never go and attack anybody's relationship or marriage, regardless of their race. Why would I? If there's white women going out and expressing their love for black men, go for it. I support you on that because you need to choose your own path. Okay. But I just ask, don't come hating on me because I'm choosing mine. I mean, people still will, but I chose my life, I chose my path, and I've been blessed by a good wife. Yeah, that's right. As long as good people join your union, regardless of their race. And you know, there's good and bad in every group. Garbage flows in every community. Okay. You just gotta sort through that and get the right man, right woman, and have that good marriage. Okay. And there's good people out there. There's good traditional people. I'm a traditional guy. I believe in marriage. I believe, I want a family. Um, when we're young and dating, I remember back in the day, I wanted to date different women, but I grew out of that because I realized that it's best to have a wife and a family. But a lot of people don't get out of that. They'll date their whole life and never get married. There's people out there that do that. And it's kind of sad because you miss everything that is in what God wants us to have in a family. You miss having kids together, raising them, watching them from babies, and you get excited when they make that first step. And then, as they get older, learning to talk, it's neat. And you try to teach them the right way. And as they grow older, their first day in school, I remember the first day of school and all three of my kids. For me and my wife, that was neat. That was exciting. And when we did the things together as a family, when we took trips, it was, you miss out on that being single. and you know, I spent 20 years in the army, and I was away from my family a lot of times, but when we were together, it was awesome. But, if I wasn't married, I wouldn't experience that. Being with my kids all the time. And it's a blessing for kids to have both their mom and dad in the house, having that love come from, the mother and father, having that balance that God put has for us. And when it comes to men and women, one isn't better than the other. No, both are important, and that's what makes a family work. A good man, a good woman coming together in marriage, raising a family, and we're supposed to teach them right. They might do the wrong thing, even though you did the best you could as a parent. It happens, but that's what we're supposed to do. And the blessing of watching, and I talk about emotion. When I see my kids do something good, I get emotional. When I was watching my daughter go through college when she got her associates, man, that was great. I mean, I broke down because I was so happy. God blessed my daughter, and that's a blessing to me. And when she got her bachelor's degree and master's degree, it's like, wow. And then watching my son in the army getting promoted and stuff, that just, I get emotional, you know? And my youngest is going to college now, and that all three of them got college, and that's just awesome to me. Because in my family, there's not a lot of us that went to college. We're the basic uh, middle class family. We do pretty good, but we're not. A lot of us ain't college educated. Um, I do have some college. My brother's been to college. And my dad kind of pushed that on us to, because he wanted us to be successful. But you know, I But the biggest blessing I would say is your kids being doing better than you. That's what I always wanted. And looking at my oldest daughter, she's almost making money me and my wife were making, her and her husband. And they're so much younger, and that's a blessing. Uh, and that's uplifting. And we do pretty good. I mean, but you know, but it all started, the reason I believe all that was successful, because me and my wife hung together. We showed love for each other, and we stayed the course. We went the distance. We loved each other more than our problems. We love each other more than what society thinks. We love each other more than the haters, what they're going to say. And when we have problems, we could talk it out. We pray to God about it. You find out the problems we have are minute little things that can be worked out. And that's the thing with a lot of people. A lot of people have problems and they let them get out of hand when they can be settled. Just with little talking, praying, and little humility. Us as men, a lot of times we don't want to hear we're wrong. We got that pride factor. Sometimes you got to just swallow that pride and say, you know what, I messed up. Uh, but that don't mean you're a bad person. That's a good thing. That's strength. Admitting when you're wrong. Because it's not human nature for us to admit we're wrong. It's not human nature to check ourselves, is it? It's easy to do it to other people. We can go all day and see what somebody's doing wrong and just go in on them. But when we do it, and it takes a lot of strength to, you know, put yourself out there and say, you know what, I messed up. I was wrong. I did this wrong, and I'm sorry. But anyway, I just wanted to, do this show and talk about love letters and talk about and a love letter is a symbol of your love. Okay. Um, there's so many ways to show your love. Love has so many areas. You know, a lot of people think that just the physical love is love. No, it's not. Sexual relationships, people think that that's love. No, it's not. It's a part of it, but love is more than that. Love is, caring about that person, making sure their needs are met. Love is, putting that person above yourself. Love is, worrying about them, making sure they're okay. Love is providing for them. Love is just being nice to them. Love is, there's so many areas of love. It goes beyond the physical thing. Okay. When you get married, yeah, you have those intimate moments, and that just a way for, to show you love each other, bonding together. That should be done within marriage. Um, and it's a blessing when it's done the right way. But when you do that with other people, and it's a sin. Um, and a lot of times we take God's blessings and turn it into sin by doing it the wrong way. Um, men and women are supposed to come together. We're supposed to be, we're supposed to have relationships. We're supposed to be intimate with each other. We're supposed to be fruitful and multiply, but within marriage. Somehow we left the marriage part out of it. Now society's messed up for it. It's our fault you know, it's our fault in the collective as human beings. It really is in society. Uh, can you tell us a mistake you made when you first started dating, Sandy? Uh, well, how much time you got? Made a lot of mistakes. Um, I don't know. When I first started dating, and this was in the beginning, because I was, well, I'd say before, it was well way before I proposed to her. But I was, when I first dated her in the beginning, probably like the first few days, I did have another girlfriend I was seeing dating, and then, but at that time, I didn't know if, I guess that was a mistake. And my wife saw me with this other woman, but we dated, like, we went on 2 dates, and she made me feel so bad about it. Um, After that, I was with my wife the whole time, and I never stepped out on my wife. I never did. Um, but that was a mistake I made, and I think when you date, I think you should just date one person at a time. Sometimes we get caught up in trying to find the right one, that we date 1, 2, or 3 people. I mean, a lot of people do that. Um, but that didn't go on for long. It was just like a few days. Not saying it was right. I felt so bad. I still feel bad about it. Um, Even though I didn't propose to her and we weren't married or nothing like that. But that was a mistake I made. And there's times we got in arguments and I said things I shouldn't say. I mean, um, but I had some mistakes, and you know, we worked through it. But I guess that's one area there. But I mean, since that, you know, I've been faithful to my wife my whole time I've been married to her. I never stepped out. Um, and the blessing is I can say that. But I never put myself in a position to do that. Uh, and usually guys that do that, that are tempted, put themselves in a tempting situation, you know. And whenever I counsel people on marriage and stuff, and guys that have slipped, or even women that have stepped out and feel bad and said, you know what, I was caught up and it was a temptation. And, you know, being brutally honest, I say you were tempted because you want to be tempted. And I believe that, because if you don't want to be tempted, you're not going to put yourself in a position to do that. You're not going to go out to the club with just the guys when you're married. You're not going to do that, because that's a way you can put yourself in a bad position. You're not going to hang out as a man. You're not going to hang out with another woman when you're married. You're just not going to do that. Now you can have friends come over that are male, women and men when you're married, but you don't, have a relationship with them, just them. You know what I mean? Plus, it's disrespectful too. Um, I never, hung out with a woman while I was married as a friend. I never did, unless my wife was there, or unless it was like a group at work. We got together and something like that, but never alone. And I tell people you don't do that. Some people think I'm crazy, but it just respect. I respect my wife more than that. Um, my affection belongs to my wife, not no other woman. Me having, you know, a relationship, everything belongs to my wife. Okay? All of me belongs to my wife, period. And all of her belongs to me. And that's what a marriage is. That's why, you know, and the Bible tells you keep your eyes on your wife, keep your wants and desires with your wife, your husband, the person you're married to, that's where that belongs to. Okay? Me hanging out, having lunch and doing activities, that belongs to my wife. That don't belong to another woman. You can be friends of the opposite sex while married, but there's a right way to do that. And, you know, when people have friendships and get close to someone else that's not in their marriage, it leads to problems. It leads to temptation. And, but that was one thing I felt bad about, when we are dating. I had another girlfriend I was dating at the time, and, you know, and I really love my wife. I just had at that time before I talked to my wife, I was dating different women. Um, and when I met my wife, I just knew that was my wife. It just, you know, but that was a mistake I made. And some people say, well, that wasn't really a mistake. You guys didn't have no commitment. You were just out dating. You were just doing your thing. But in a way, but no, it was wrong because when you're out dating, you should date person at a time. Even though you're not having a commitment, one at a time. That would be my advice. Because just dating someone, they might have feelings for you. Even if it's the first date, you guys might click and he or she might, be interested in you. And then knowing that you're dating someone else, that can be hurtful. Even though you have made a commitment by then. Um, yeah, thanks, J10. But yeah, I mean, but relationships, for a good relationship, a good marriage to work, it takes two people. Two people have to do the right thing. And a lot of times I see, and this is sad, I see relationships with good men or good women doing the right thing, but the other person don't do the right thing and the relationship don't last. And it's sad because one of those persons is pouring their heart in that relationship, doing the right thing, but the other one isn't. And that's the thing. That's why you got to really pray about a marriage. That's why you really got to vet. That's why you got to take it very serious. Because in order for a marriage to work, it takes two people. And while you're married, you got to fight for your marriage the whole time. Okay? Me and my wife have had a successful marriage, but you know what? We got to continue to do what's right. You've seen marriages where people have been married 30, 40 years and it ends in divorce. And you're like, why the heck did that happen? What were they thinking? Why would you do that? Makes no sense, right? That's because they stopped fighting for their marriage. For whatever reason. I've heard like men have midlife crisis. And I've heard some men say that, they want to know if they still got it. And I would say, guys, really? Okay, you don't still got it. Okay, here's the true brutality of life. Okay? You don't still have it. There ain't young 20-year-olds that are attracted to you that you could go pick up no more. That those days are over. And as you're married through the years, guess what? Your wife's getting older, yes, and you are too. And what you don't need to worry whether you still got it. You got to worry if you still got it with your wife. Okay, are you still the man you were back then? Are you still the one providing? Are you still the one showing your love for her? I see so many times, and where I work, you know, in part of town, there's wealthy people out there. People got money, but a lot of I see a lot of elderly men with young women driving around in BMWs and crap. Yeah, you got money. Yeah, she's with you. Yeah, but she's not with you because of you. And you just kicked your wife to the curb, the woman that loved you for years, to be with a young woman that's with you because of your resources, because of your position in life. And you're going to throw away a marriage for that? And not only that, what damage does it do to the kids and your family? So when you get married, you're married. You need to take it as a commitment to you, your wife, and God. And when you step out, when you break that commitment, you're hurting more than just your wife or husband. You're taking it out on God, your kids. And I'm not saying that all marriages go, if you have somebody that's abusing you, you don't need to stay in that marriage, okay? I'm not saying, I believe marriage forever, and when you get married it's supposed to be for life, but sometimes, you might be with that guy that's beating you and you don't need to stay in that situation, no. And guys, you don't need to be in a situation where you have a wife that just constantly tearing you down and doing horrible stuff to you, abusive. Guys can be abused by women too. It happens. Um, the physical part, for the most part, the woman's not going to beat you down because, usually men, we have, more of an upper body strength and stuff, but you can get abused by women, very much so. So sometimes marriages, end because they need to end. Um, but for people that have midlife crises or want to know if they still got it, no, you still ain't got it, dummy. Why would you want to worry about if you got it anyway? You got a woman that loves you at home. You got a good wife. I'm just, I look at these men and I'm like, they're stupid. They got enough brain power to work their way up in life and become wealthy, but they can't, they kick their wife to the curb. I mean, really? And then, I don't know. I've seen this. This is nuts. Okay. But some people have issues, but, you know, but you see those couples though too. You see them that are real old that still love each other when they're, their life is, they ain't got much life left, but they still have that love for each other. They still together, you know, people that have been married 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, that's true love. You know, that's where I want to be. When I'm 90, if I'm still on this earth, I want to be holding my wife's hand and be happy and know I have a good wife, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And when we're not walking the earth again, me and my wife, we'll be in heaven, you know, still have that love for each other, still have that awesome marriage going on. That should be the goal. Um, but men's pride can destroy a marriage. And women can too. I mean, it goes both ways. And that's why you need both people working in the marriage. Both people got to put in the work. Okay. Um, Man, our job is to provide for our wives, our children, you know, provide for them, providing shelter, food, financially. That's what we're supposed to do. And women, you're supposed to support your husband, love your husband. It goes both ways. And the man and the woman, one is not better than the other. We're both different, and that's what makes the dynamic so special. That's what makes the family unit, what it's supposed to be. You got the man's perspective and the woman's, and men, we're a lot of times harder on our kids than women are. Women are more nurturing. They seem more understanding. You need that balance, you know. You need that discipline, and you need that love and that nurturing too. Children need both. Okay, and us as men and women, in a marriage, we bring that. And but just having the woman raise the kids or just the man, I mean, the kids are at a disadvantage. They need both parents. Um, and I'm not going on single parents. That they got a tough job, and I see a lot of single moms that just sacrifice everything for their kids, and that's you know, and I pray God blesses them, because it's tough, but and I was thinking, um, you know, I say when we celebrate Mother's Day, and I get into that. I'll buy my mom gifts and show my love, and we all love our moms, right? Everybody's got a mom. Mother's Day special, and you know. But the sad thing is, when it comes to Father's Day, how many of us celebrate Father's Day? How many? I'm blessed to have a father, and I had teenage parents. Okay, my dad, yeah, my mom and dad, fell into that temptation, that lust, and I'm a product of it. But my father stepped in and he took responsibility. He raised me. He made me. He didn't run from it. And yeah, it hurt him because it affected his life. But later on, he's successful. Early on, it was tough, yes, because you're so young. Um, you know, but I thank God on Father's Day that I have a father that I can celebrate, that I can, that's I could be there for because he's been there for me ever since I was born. Still is. Um, you know, but I know a lot of people that come from single parent families that they don't really celebrate Father's Day because they ain't got a father. Or they might celebrate Father's Day for their stepfather. But sad to say that a lot of us can't celebrate Father's Day because our father's not there. And the reason is because of sin. The reason is because people made bad choices a lot of times. Some people might not have the father around because of you know unexpected circumstances that couldn't been helped. There's that, but a lot of it's bad choices. You know. But anyway, I'm going into all kinds of different things. But the point is, I wanted to make is when you're in a relationship, show that love for that person. Okay, for your husband, your wife, show them you love them continuously. They know you love them, but tell them. They want to hear it. Okay? They want to hear it. It means a lot to be told you're loved. Um, it means a lot to me to hear my wife tell me she loves me, even though I know it. I want to hear it, and she wants me to say I love her. She wants me to tell her she's beautiful. Yes, I'm going to do it. Why wouldn't I? Okay? That's the woman I chose for to be with me for eternity. That's the one I love more than any woman on this earth. So of course I'm going to do that. And you should. But a lot of times we get numb and we don't think about stuff like that. And us as guys, we're not thinking about love letters. Let's be honest. But we should. Oh, that's what women think. It's a touchy-feely thing. Well, it means a lot to them. And you know what? You show them that love, you get it back. Miss Anita wants to come on. The link's up there. Yeah, okay. There. I see you, Miss Anita. Just hook up your devices and I'll bring you up. Yeah, I know there she is. Okay. Hey, Miss Anita.
Hi there, Brent. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just decided to come on this live and talk about love letters. And
Yeah, I think
it's
Miss Delma told me that you already read two of them.
yeah, I read my love letter that I wrote for Sandy. Um,
Okay.
and then Miss Hubley Vortex came on and wrote and read her letter to her future husband, and it
Yeah,
was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was nice.
I
And,
missed it.
and then yeah, and then Sarah came on and she was
Uh,
telling a story about a guy she was interested in, and that was a nice story too. It's been an awesome show. Um,
Now, do we have time if it's okay? Because you know what? I actually took the time this morning to write a letter.
oh
Is it
sure,
if I
yeah,
read my
yeah, you can read it, sure.
okay, although I wish I could have heard the other ones. I missed out on that, but my daughter, I mean, I call her my daughter. Her name is Marcy. She was one of my guests, but she invited me out to breakfast this morning, which I thought was so sweet. I had a
Oh,
really
nice.
yeah. So I missed it. That's why I'm getting on so late, you guys. So I apologize.
Oh no, no, you're fine. You can watch the replay. I'll have
Oh,
it up there.
oh, for sure. I definitely will. But I'm going to read mine, and I'm kind of lengthy because it seemed like so much was going on in my head at the time.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
all right, you guys, here we go. Ready? Are you set?
All right.
Good.
Let
All
it rip.
right. All right. So it says, Dear future husband, how do I begin to express what I feel? You see, I've been praying for you for such a very long time. Months has passed, even years, and you were nowhere in sight. I would hang on for a second. I gotta put my phone down. I hope you guys can still hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. You sound just
Uh,
fine.
so, I would speak out to you in the spiritual realm at times, but I could not feel your presence. I need to put my a little bit larger because this font is too. I'm sorry. Okay, so basically, I was saying I would speak out to you in the spiritual realm at times, but I could not feel your presence. There were times when I couldn't see or even know if you were ever going to come into my life. Yes, I even doubted at times, wondering if there was someone special out there just for me. I didn't see or couldn't see the one that God was going to bring into my life just for me. The only thing that He God required of me was just believe. I am sharing with you that this for me was a struggle, waiting, not knowing, but believing and trusting that God would answer my prayers. But you are finally here, and there in these past few months, now I'm saying this in faith, like we've been spending time together, and these past few months have been overwhelmingly mind blowing. And I can't even find the words to say I could I could not have asked for a better. I'm sorry. I I can't even find the words to say I could not have asked for better. God knew exactly what I needed and what I desired. I thank the Lord for loving me so much that my God would send me someone so special as you who understands me and gets me. A man who would love me like I have never known before. A man who is not intimidated by my past failures, my sins, and even my struggles today. A man who has only shown me love and grace, a man who has vowed to provide and protect me, a man who is forgiving, patient, and who has shown nothing but kindness towards me. Also, what I have observed in you is a godly man. I see you You always look to God for guidance and counsel, and it doesn't mean that you are perfect, but I see you always striving to continually to be a better man of God and run our home with wisdom, being the proper head of the household. A man who I can look up to and willingly submit myself to. A man who has shown me that he will fight for us and love me when I am lovable and love me when I am not. A man that when I am around you, you make me want to do better, to be an even better person. You challenge me, yes. You bring out the best in me, and for that, I am forever grateful. And in return, I want to give that back to you, which you have shown me, and more. I love you so much, and I am truly, truly grateful to God for you. I am so blessed and highly favored. When I stop and think about everything that was brought, I'm sorry, when I stop and think about everything that has brought me to this point, it brings tears to my eyes just thinking that God loved me so much that he kept you for me. So, however many days that I am blessed to be here on this earth, I want to live the rest of my days with you as your loving wife and work together, whether, I'm sorry, and work through whatever challenges we face together, build together, love together, always keeping God first in our marriage to keep it strong. So I thank my Heavenly Father for sending such a wonderful man into my life who has shown me much love like I have never experienced before. And when I took, and I'm sorry, and when I look at you, future husband, I put that in quotation, you are a reflection of him, our Lord and Savior, and I feel his love coming through you. Thank you. I love you. Love, Anita, your future wife.
All right.
I know it was long.
That no, that's good. No, that was awesome, Miss Anita. That was beautiful. And
Thank you.
I know that the man that God sends you, he's going to be blessed.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Mr. Brett. I appreciate that. But when I was when you guys were talking about writing love loves at the time, I'm thinking, I don't really know what to write. And I remember years ago I used to write stuff to my husband, but I kind of gave it up. And that's why I said in this letter, sometimes I have doubted because, I know God's timing is totally different from our timing. So it requires it is being patient and wait. So I that's my heart that's filled out to my husband, whoever he may be, but I'm still believing that he is out there. And I'm really excited. I thank you for challenging us, or whoever's idea it was, or challenging us to even do that, because that was awesome.
Yeah, Corey came up with the letter thing, and well, it wasn't Corey just came up with the writing the letter, and but you guys in the chat came up with giving me the advice to write Sandy a love letter.
I
So,
didn't get a hear that.
huh?
I didn't get a chance to hear your letter, but I will go back and hit the
Yeah,
replay. This is over.
yeah, I read it in the beginning. But yeah, I mean, the love letter is a great idea. It really is. And, you know, even though if you don't have your husband or wife yet, write that letter. Um,
Yeah.
and then when you do get your wife or husband, give them that letter. Say, you know what? When I was praying for you and asking God to bring you to me, I wrote this letter to you. And that could be a special thing when you're on your honeymoon. Say, you know what? Here's this
Yeah.
letter. But yeah, love letters. It's a special thing and it's personal. And I would say to you, men, women love that.
Yeah.
They like that emotional connection, and you putting in the work, and putting in your heart how you feel about them. It means something. It does.
Yeah.
And us guys, you know, we we try to be tough and macho and all this stuff, and but it means something to us too, because it shows that the lady that's with us, our wives, that they love us, and it means a lot. It really does. Um, you know, and writing that letter to your future husband or wife, it you're bringing out of your heart what you want in them. Okay,
Yeah.
and whoever God provides you, it's not going to be a perfect man or woman. Okay, it's going to be another flawed human being, but God will send you someone that's a good man or good woman. Okay,
Yeah.
and you know, but I love that love letter, and you
Mm.
know, you're saying it's long, but it's good it's long, because you're putting out there what you want, and you're actually reading that letter to us. It's uplifting, but that too's talking to God, telling asking God for what you want, and that's what
Yeah.
we should do. What we
Mhm.
want, and the Bible says a lot of time. It says in the Bible that ye have not because you ask not.
Yeah.
How many of us don't ask for a good wife, a good husband?
Yeah.
We want that, and we try to get that. Um, but you should ask. Tell God what He knows your heart. And I've
Yeah.
told guys, and I prayed for a wife, and I wasn't doing things right, but God still blessed me, and maybe it's because I was praying about it. And I talked to God, and I told him what I wanted, and I have a preference for black women. I told him I wanted my wife to be black, and people think that's crazy, kind of weird, but that's what was in my heart. So why why wouldn't I be honest to God? Now, if He gives me that or not, that's up to God.
Right.
But be honest, you know.
Right.
A- And
Oh,
I've been blessed. God blessed me what I needed, and He also gave me what I wanted too. So I mean, it's a win-win. But
yeah, that honestly, it was therapeutic in a way for me. I thought that I would not be able to put any words together because I used to do this years ago, but surprisingly, I seemed like I had a flood. I just had a flood of feelings and my thoughts and just putting it on, well, not necessarily paper, but just typing it up. It really kind of woke my spirit, man, if that makes any sense, to stir that which is inside of me, to stir it back up again, to like, wow, yeah, it's still there. I mean, I think
what?
sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you sit down and think about it, and you open your heart, because I when I came up with this letter that I wrote, um, I'm just thinking, what am I going to say? I know what my heart's saying, but I'm not a good wordsmith. I'm not a poet. I can't just throw things out there that sound beautiful. But I said, well, it. But maybe if I could get my voice to go along with my heart and kind of think about it, and I thought about it, and my feelings, and I prayed about it too. I says, and it like opened up. Okay, this is what I think about my wife.
uh,
She's everything to me. She's not just my wife. She's
yeah, your best
you know,
friend.
best friend, the mother of my children,
uh,
the person I always want to be around, the person that that I've invested everything that I am into her. I do provide for her, and I do the stuff I'm supposed to as a husband, but my heart's invested in her. My love, my feelings, my wants, my desires is all invested in my wife, and you know, and it's a beautiful thing, because what you put in, you get back out.
Yeah.
The love I show my wife, she shows me
Yeah.
love, and it's we feed off that.
Uh,
You know, and you know, for people not to experience that blessing, it just sad.
yeah.
I wish I could reach people and say, you know what, dating is for to find a wife, and get married, have that family unit, experience the blessings of you, your wife, or you and your husband raising your kids. Um, there's nothing more blessed than that. Um, and yeah, it's tough work. It's expensive. I mean, children ain't cheap. And
Yeah.
those of
No.
us that have kids, we know it, right? Uh,
Yeah,
but it's worth it. It's worth the blessing.
it
And
is.
people miss out on that. But I
Well, Brent, thank you so very much for allowing me to read my letter. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to have to go back and listen to the beginning of the live chat. I don't know if there was anybody else, because I would love to hear if anybody else wrote any letters. I would love to hear what they put together for their
yeah,
spouse or significant, whoever that's gonna there, whether it's a guy writing to his wife or a girl writing to her husband. But it was a good experience for me. It made me feel so good, 'cause to me it puts everything in perspective for me, just putting it in black and white. And though I've been praying to the Lord, it just made me realize I just hang on a little while longer, just hold on, because like I said, the only thing that he requires of us or requires of me is just believe and wait. That's I think that for me is says it all. And I feel like God knows exactly who I'm supposed to be partnering up with, and same for my husband, you know.
yeah,
But, wow. Anyway,
yeah.
thank you for letting me share that.
Uh, okay, yeah. Thanks, Miss Anita, for coming on, and thank you for sharing that love letter with us. That was really awesome.
Thank you. All right, I'm
And
gonna hop off now. I know somebody else probably wants to speak. I see someone on here.
yeah, it's Corey just jumped on. Hey,
Oh, Mr. Corey. Hi, Mr. Corey.
hey, welcome, Corey.
Hello, hello, Miss Anita. Hello, Brent.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I had an early morning this morning. Had
Yeah.
to run my boy down. It's like an hour and a half down the interstate to go pick up his deer mount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did he
he's
did he get a deer?
yeah, a couple years ago. He's
Oh,
just really slow at picking it
okay.
up.
Okay.
And he's home on leave because of the holidays, and he's heading back to Fort Campbell in the morning. So,
Oh, okay. Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
oh yeah,
Is he part of the 101st Airborne?
I think he is. I think it is the 101st.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They're in Fort Campbell. Yeah. My son's in the 82nd Airborne. He's in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's getting ready to go to Korea. I might take some time off and go ride with him home, because he's going to leave his car at the house while he goes over to Korea. So he's going to take some leave, and I'm going to ride back with him. We'll have a road trip. It's quite a ways though. North Carolina to New Mexico. Oh my God. Probably, I think I'm going to take 3
Yeah,
days.
you're top to bottom there.
Yeah, I I might stop and maybe see my daughter. She's in Kansas City, or and I might see my brother. He's in Atlanta. So I don't know. I'm going to have to take a little couple pit stops, but
Yep.
I'm taking a couple weeks off, so we have plenty of time. So we'll have a fun trip. Uh,
Yeah, I drove to Alaska and back by myself. It took 3.5 days going up, and it
oh
took three
wow.
three days coming back. I only slept one time in both directions, but I slept solid for like 12 hours.
Oh man, that's crazy. You know, I the furthest I drove. Me and my dad. It was well, it was me, my dad, my stepmom, my oldest daughter. Uh, we we drove from this is when I lived in Colorado Springs. We drove from Colorado Springs all the way to Birmingham, Alabama. And we didn't stop. We went
That-
straight through.
That's
But
quite the drive.
yeah, oh my God, I'd never do that again. That was crazy.
I remember a trip I made with my dad up to Alaska, and we had one of them. This has been years ago, like in '05 or something. But we were running one of those Cummins diesels, and we left Oregon here, Southern Oregon, and we pulled into Anchorage, Alaska in 48 hours.
Oh wow.
But I did get pulled over doing 100 in Canada,
Oh.
in a foreign country.
Uh-oh. How was that ticket?
That was actually not as bad as I expected. I mean, it was funny because when you come up to the top of one peak, and
Uh-huh.
if you ever been in Canada, it's like these rolling dry riverbeds. So it's a
Oh,
long ways across.
yeah.
Well, when I hit the top of mine, there was a Canadian Mountie at the top of the other one. And so I'm coming down the hill and I got my foot in that dually, it's a diesel, and I'm doing 100. And when I met her at the bottom, I finally realized this is a policeman, and I just threw the brake lights. I was like, I'm not waiting for you to chase me.
Oh yeah.
I just pulled it over. At least
Oh
she was a
wow.
pretty lady. I mean, I couldn't complain about that. But
Well, at least there's some positive to it.
well, the funny thing was we were 20 kilometers south of Fort St. John or Fort Nelson, one of the two.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, well, we did the Chinese shuffle. I let my dad drive from that point, and he got a ticket doing 20 kilometers north of the same city. And
Oh man.
the officer was smiling at us when he drove by because we passed him too. And apparently we didn't learn our lesson. So by the time we got to Alaska, we were already $600 in the hole.
Oh wow. Wow,
It was all right though.
yeah, that's an expensive stops.
We
Wow.
went up to the oil field, so I made my money back in one day up there working. So it wasn't that big
Oh
of a
yeah, I
deal.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah, the things we do.
Oh yeah. So the Canadian mounted police, do they wear the traditional uniforms, the red with the hat and that you see on
No,
TV? No? Okay.
not no. These were professional. Just standard uniform, mostly black and blue.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a regular police uniform. No, I
Oh
just see
yeah,
them in movies. I thought they had like the traditional red. I mean, it looks kind of neat, the Mountie, the traditional uniform. I didn't know if they wore that. Like,
they may in some areas, but not where I was.
it's probably like a ceremonial thing or a traditional. I don't know. I've never been to Canada. I don't.
Well, I've
I would
only
like
gone
to go, but
I've only gone through British Columbia
no. Okay.
because that's just following the ocean, the coast.
Yeah. I plan on going up there, taking a trip just to see it. I don't know what are the good places to go up there.
You
What would
know,
be?
I looked into it, and the most amazing places I saw, because I like the rustic, you know,
Uh huh.
the nature part, and they have some of the biggest, most beautiful lodges I've ever seen that are still open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this one was like 4 or 5 stories high, and the whole entryway was wide open all the way to the roof, and it had this humongous chimney, this rock chimney that was all the way out the roof. It was just beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And then all the rooms were on one side, and there was just humongous windows on the other side. It just imagine I mean, like a barn the size of Noah's Ark. It was just, that's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, I wanted to go see. My brother went to it. They have like a replica of Noah's Ark in Kentucky somewhere
Oh,
where
I've
they
seen that. Yeah.
yeah, where they tried to make like a replica according to the Bible, the measurements and stuff. And I hear it's pretty neat up there. I'd like to see it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I've seen like it on TV and stuff. It looks pretty neat. I'd like to
Yep.
visit it. Um,
I'm addicted to mountains and snow and trees.
I like mountains and I'm not so much the snow. I like warm air. I don't know. I like it warm. It's
That's okay. You're just a fair weather man.
yeah. I mean, I love living in Colorado. I mean that
Oh
was
yeah, that's
awesome.
snowy.
Yeah. But I mean the weather ain't really bad in Colorado. It gets cold, but I mean you can tolerate it. I mean,
It's a dry cold.
yeah, it is. But yeah, I do want to go up to Canada. I want to see it. I want to. It looks neat on TV, and I'm sure there's like wonderful places to go up there and stuff. I guess I just need to go online, look at it, and see where, good travel spots to go. Um,
Yeah, it's an
Toronto.
old country. There's lots of stuff to see.
Oh
I've
yeah, and
always
it's
thought about going to the
humongous.
east side, but it's just loaded with cities, and
Yeah.
I'm more of a
Is it kind of like the United States? Like on the East Coast is where most of our population is. I mean, we do have
Ye-
big cities on the West Coast, but I mean, on the East you got what New York and Philadelphia and
yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely modern. I mean, nobody's living in igloos or nothing.
Well, no, but yeah, but I just wondered if maybe the West Side's kind of like ours. I mean, there's big populations, but it's more open.
Well, the west side is going to be more open because over here, as soon
Mm.
as you get past like what would it be, San Francisco,
Uh huh.
then you get into the high mountain valleys to where there's a city in the valley, and then you got to go a long ways to get to another city. There's small towns in between,
Yeah.
but just like here in Oregon, you got to have a car and a pickup. But if you're going to have one, own a pickup because a car will strand you
Oh yeah, because
because you never know if it's going to be high water, and the water runs off fast here. But I mean, we had about 8 inches of snow that's still hanging around. I mean, most of it's melted, but back in '69, we had almost 3 feet of snow here.
in '69.
Yeah, Oregon's bipolar when it comes to the weather. We have 4 solid seasons every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
we get
you
all
really,
four.
so you get the hot summer, the I don't know, the mild fall and the hard winter and the
Yeah, it goes from extreme green in the springtime, lots of flowers.
uh
Summer, I think the hottest I ever felt here was about 112, 114, but it
oh
only lasted
goodness.
for about 3 weeks. Then it goes back to the 90s.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't
Is it like
stay there.
is it a dry climate or a wet climate? I guess it probably
It's all of them.
all of them. Yeah, I guess on the coast it'd be a lot of moisture, maybe, and then inland maybe you get deserts and stuff.
Well, I'm in between two mountain ranges because the coast range
Uh huh.
actually is a buffer to a lot of the water. And then I've got the Cascade mountain range. I'm kind of like at the foothills of the Cascade Mountains.
Uh huh.
And there's a valley in here that where I-5 runs. So, but where I live, they call it the banana belt because it's warmer than most other places. Even if you go south to Medford, they get a lot of ice. If you go north to Eugene, they get a lot of ice, and I'm just right in the middle. And we don't get that much ice.
Yeah, when I was in Colorado, they had a weird weather that hit, and it was weird because in Colorado, it was like really cold is in the winter, and they had like a storm going through, and it was colder than normal. And I mean freezing conditions all around the state. But in Denver, for some weird reason, it was like they said the reason it happened, it was like it in the 60s, and everywhere around was like freezing. And they said that there was like kind of a weather pocket somehow coming off the Rockies and the jet stream. Somehow it created warm air around Denver area, and rest of the state was cold as can be, and it was just strange. Uh, but
Yeah, when you
Colorado,
get up
I
next to the Rockies, it's different.
yeah, it does. It has different stuff, and a lot of times they can't predict weather a lot because the Rockies being there. Sometimes they might be looking for a storm and nothing really happens, or they think it's mild and a storm just rolls right through.
Yeah.
Um, but I've seen weird weather in Colorado. I've seen like it'd be a blizzard and lightning, just lightning and thunder during a snowstorm. I was like, this is weird. I know it happens, but uh I there was this one time and we were getting hammered with snow when I was in Colorado Springs uh and it was lightning and thundering. I was like, this is the weirdest thing. But it was
J10
weird.
wanted J10 wanted me to jump on here. I
Oh
have
yeah.
I was gonna write my love letter this morning, and my boy called me at like I was like 8:30 last night. He said he
Uh
needed a ride. It's an hour and a half down the interstate. But I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get back just in time for the podcast to start.
oh yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to do the love letter thing and stuff, and I'll maybe we'll have another one down the road or something. Uh
Well,
you know, I,
Humbly started all this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She was on Cohen's show. She wrote read a poem, and then
Hmm.
yeah, and then I know you came up with the idea of writing to your future spouse, as you said.
Actually, I just added to because Humbly told you to write to Sandy,
Yeah,
and it just kind of like sparked a little thought, and I was just like, oh, Brent, we're missing something here.
yeah, and you know that I wrote my wife that first letter, and she got emotional, and then she broke out the letters that I wrote her through the years, and then my daughters were reading them. They're getting emotional, and my son was like, "Oh yeah, that's nice, Dad." That's he was like, my wife's like, "Well, what do you think?" "Oh yeah, that's nice. I'm going to the store, Mom. You need anything?" Just like a
Yeah,
typical, you know.
guys just think about a bag of chips and a soda pop, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's how
okay.
we are. Yes. If we could get out of that element, we'd be more successful with the ladies. But
Well, you just got to find the right woman that'll inspire you to do it.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You got to
But
be equally matched.
yeah, and it does mean a lot. And if us as men, we need to do more stuff like that. You know, show women that we have love for them. They say chivalry's dead and stuff, but you can still do it. You can open up the door for her, show her some love, respect. I mean, uh,
Yep.
we need to do more of that. I believe. It goes a long way, and
Mm.
it stuff like that, little things like that we call little things, can strengthen your relationship. And
Hey, Brent, if you ever
yes, sir.
think about wanting to like see Canada and Alaska
Uh huh.
and not have to drive or fly,
Uh huh.
find you a small ferry boat. And when I say small, I mean like 100 foot or maybe 120 or something like that. And they'll take you up the inside passage, which goes up the coastline from up through Canada and up into Alaska on the lower part.
Uh huh.
And they'll show you all the different places where the gold miners used to come into port, the steamships and stuff that would supply them for
Oh,
the gold
okay.
rush. And they're historical, they're beautiful. It's very touristy. There's bed and breakfasts you can stay in, and they're historical. It's really neat, charming stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I would like to look into something like that. I'll probably do it like in a year or two. This year, I'm taking my vacation to get my son, and we're going to spend some time before he goes overseas. But I don't know, maybe next year I might. I was thinking about going into Canada, but I'd like to see Alaska too. And of course, I want to hit it in the warm months because you
Yeah,
know.
that's probably
Well, they
later
probably
July.
don't. Yeah, they probably don't have it opened up in the real cold times.
No, it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's miserably cold. You probably have to be inside all the time, and you know.
Yeah, when that ice rain's hitting the window, you don't want to walk out in it.
Well,
And then the farther
yeah.
north you go, it turns to snow. And then it gets so cold that it doesn't snow because there's no more water in the air.
Oh, it wow.
Yeah.
I heard this. I don't know if it's true that they could pour out a glass of water in Alaska and it'll freeze before it hits the ground.
At 40 below, you throw a boiling cup of water in the air. It will
Uh,
not touch. It will not touch the ground.
oh wow.
But it's got to be hot water.
Huh.
Yeah, because hot water freezes faster than cold water.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
You would think that logically that wouldn't happen, but wow.
Well, hot water is closer to a vapor.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
less of a solid. Okay.
Yeah,
That
it's
that
closer
makes
to a
sense.
gas form. When you throw it in the air, I've seen people throw a half a gallon of water up and over their head. Well, you can see it on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I'll be watching it. This is interesting. Yeah.
Physics and stuff. It's amazing what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I will I'll get around to going seeing it. Yeah, I would like to go up there, and my wife was talking about visiting Canada too, just to see, because both of us never been there, so it'd be something new.
Yeah, it's funny. I like the extremes. Like
Uh-huh.
I love clean snow, no matter the temperature. But I
Uh-huh.
also like white sandy beaches too.
Oh yeah. Did you see that video I put together when I was in White Sands?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's amazing. You go down there and the sand, well, it's actually gypsum. It's not sand, but I mean it's white, and they call it white sands, and it looks like snow. I mean, it gets hotter than crap out there. I go there like in the spring and fall, and I'll hike around there. Sometimes I might camp out there. They got a bunch of trails out there, and it's really neat. Um, they have had people get lost and die out there because, well, you're in a desert.
Yeah, you dehydrate quick.
Yeah, but I did it when I did that video. I hiked around there in the summer, and that was brutal. I mean, I had plenty of water and stuff, and I go out there. I have my phone, but I have a GPS too. I've never really got lost, but I don't really just wander off. Um, if you, I mean, you got the mountains there, and I mean, you can navigate your way out of there. I mean, but some people panic and they get dehydrated fast because, I mean, well, your body's constantly sweating and it just evaporates right away. So, yeah, I mean,
Yep.
you could go a long time without food and live, but water you can't. I mean,
Yeah. In an extreme
but
climate, you're down to hours without water.
yeah, and that's why I usually go there like in the spring or the fall when it's not so hot. And it's more enjoyable. In the brutal heat, it's just
That gypsum that's an interesting material.
yeah, and they, if you go there, they'll show a video on how it came to be like that, like coming from the runoff from the mountains, and it just like that gypsum forms, and it's like crystals, and the wind hits it and it breaks it into fine sand,
Yeah.
and it's out there for miles, and yeah, but I spent a lot of time out there. My dad used to take me there when I was a little kid. I mean, I probably walked across New Mexico 5 times. I mean, I've been everywhere. I mean, hiking across the desert, the mountains, oh, but and I'm doing it now, so I like getting out and doing stuff like that. Um,
Yeah,
you
my
know,
dad, years back, he installed a gypsum mine in Arizona.
uh,
And
yeah,
yeah, he was in charge of gathering all the equipment and stuff because it was a crusher.
uh,
And they would sell it in different, like 4-inch and 2-inch, and then clear down to powder. And apparently people put it in their flower beds and stuff.
oh wow, I wonder if that would help. Well, they don't want you taking it out of there because it's a
If that's a park, yeah, you get
yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah. It's a national park, so yeah, you can't do that. But I mean, it's fun. You could go out there, you can hike around, and around that area, you can do some hunting and stuff. And uh, New Mexico's a neat state, really. If you get out and you know, we're not just a desert. We got mountains and forests, and we got different climates. I mean, it's it's one of those states, and our winters ain't that bad. I mean, unless you go up in the mountains, it gets rough. But
Hmm.
uh, we're a dry climate too. So when it gets hot, it's not so bad. I mean, it could be over 100 degrees. You're in the shade, you're fine.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, but it's a nice place. I want to get out. And I would like to make videos of visiting different places. Um,
Mhm.
Last time I went out, my batteries died and my tripod busted. The leg fell. I was having a bad time. I would have had more video footage, and I wanted to take my camera and videotape. Like,
So what did you
yeah,
do? Walk under a ladder and break a mirror before you left home, or
I
what?
yeah I don't remember doing it, but I must have because it was a rough trip. And then you know down in Alamogordo is the closest town, but it's a small town. They got an Air Force base down there, and I went to the Walmart there, and they didn't have a tripod, and I just like it was just a headache, and they didn't
Mm.
have a battery for my camera either. So I was like, okay, I just
Wow.
filmed what I could and called it a day. I was- But
Well, I know I better write this love letter. I mean, I've got most of it in my head, but the ladies in the chat room were like, Corey, hello,
yeah,
sir.
hello, Corey, where is it?
I know here I come up and I
Well,
tell you, and then it's like, nah.
well, I mean, you can read it any time if you don't have it. If you want to read it on a different show, I'm going live again tonight. I'm going live 11:30 Eastern time.
Okay.
I think what would that be your time? That would be
Was it like 8?
something like that. This would be 9:30 my time, so 8:30 your time.
Mm.
Yeah, and the reason I'm doing it at 11:30 is I want to do a New Year's show. Um, and I don't know if I'll get a lot of people watching, because people be celebrating New Year's and stuff. But I just wanted to test it out, and I think I'm going to just kind of reflect on the year because January I hit 1 year that I've been doing this since I made my first video, and
You coming up on your 1 year anniversary?
yeah, yeah, and it's been a fun year. There's been some ups and downs in between, but for the most part, it's been fun. I've had a good time, and I'll probably
Hmm.
just show like my first video, and it's going to be pretty terrible, but and I'll show the video that I've got the most views and kind of talk about that, talk about the year, and I'll probably have it. I'll have an open panel if people. I'll have an open panel if people want to come on and stuff,
Sure.
and just kind of celebrate the new year. Start at 11:30 Eastern, and then once it hits midnight their time, wish everybody a happy New Year. If people want to come on and tell their New Year's resolutions, I'll open it for that. Or
That's cool.
this is going to be a test thing, but it you know maybe I get into it. I want to improve the channel where um I think I'm going to try to look into doing some animation stuff. um I don't know, I probably have to get some programs and stuff to do that. um
I better
I don't
drop
know.
back to the chat. I think I just heard a. Yep, I got a visitor.
You got a visitor?
Yep.
Who's your visitor? 11:30 11:30 times is what time central? Oh, central time would be 10:30 J10. So 10:30 your time. Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
I'm gonna go live though. We'll see how it goes. I don't expect to have a lot of people. Just the fact people are celebrating, but I'm gonna do a little show. Um, I would like to show a video of like the ball drop, but with the copyright things, they'll get me on.
Hopefully, I don't get myself in trouble when I start lighting off the fireworks.
Oh, are they illegal where you're at?
Oh, Oregon. I'm on the left coast.
Oh, okay.
People are sensitive over here.
Oh, because I was thinking fireworks shouldn't be. I mean, it's pretty wet where you're at. I think.
Well, there's a lot of retirees here because they moved up from California. So, and we're surrounded by veterans too because we have a big VA here.
Oh, okay.
And which is kind of like a contradiction. We have one extreme conservative side, and then we have a very liberal side. I mean, we're diverse, but it's it's like the weather. We have everybody.
That sounds like my state. I mean, it's they say it's a blue state, but it's more purple. I mean, uh, in the cities, it's it's blue, but the in the rural areas, it's bright red, and you know, it's just weird. It's like I don't know.
Well, Oregon is in the top 5 for the least transparent governments in the
Uh-huh.
country. And so I don't know if I should say this out loud, but there's a lot of undisclosed public corruption going on, because
Yeah.
they're not transparent. A lot of behind doors dealings, even in our capital.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it just, there's a there's about 50% of the population in this state that don't even vote because we know we're getting played with. I mean, it's very obvious. Our own governor is the least popular governor in the entire country.
I don't know. Ours is pretty unpopular.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. We
you're
can.
probably doing better than we are, bud.
Yeah. I don't know. Anytime the government does things behind closed doors, look out.
Yeah,
But
they're serving somebody, and it ain't us.
yeah.
Now, let's not drift off into politics, though.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go into that. Somebody asked for the link. The link's down there.
Hey, Brent, I gotta say, those headphones and that jersey, you're really pulling the Howard Cosell look. That's awesome.
Oh, am I? Yeah. Well, I thought I'd throw a football jersey on because I always do hockey, and this is my favorite football team. So,
Yep.
I know there's people watching that can't stand them and people that love them. So, I mean, that's the fun in it. Yeah, I got my oh,
Go ahead. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't have a team. I just pick on the loser.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you're not picking on me this Sunday. As man, my team looks great at times, and then they look like I don't know what they're doing. Just like, oh my God, we're like we could beat a good team and then lose to a not so good team. I don't know this. Well, this whole season in football's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is. I dropped the link. If anybody wants to come on, I know somebody was asking for me to drop the link.
Yeah, we need some company up here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's on. It's highlighted the link, and I also put it in the chat. So all you got to do is click on it. It'll bring you right up, and once you connect your devices, I can bring you right on the panel.
Well, I guess I better write that love letter this evening then, huh?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to come on and read it this evening, I'm sure the ladies would like to hear it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah.
Those
But,
gentle nudges, like where's it?
Yeah, and I'll leave that open for tonight too, guys. If you want to read a love letter later on tonight, or if you want to just I'm going to make it just an open show. I'm not going to just have one topic. We're just going to celebrate the new year. I'll show you some videos that I've made, some early ones. I'll show you an early one, and I'll show you the most popular one. We'll talk about it. I'm going to just reflect on, just reflect on the year. It's been an awesome year for this channel, and I got ideas for, improving the channel. And I put in the prayer meeting into there, and I just don't want to go one dimensional, just talking about interracial relationship. That'll be the biggest topic, but I just want to add a little extra to it and stuff. And what I also I was looking on YouTube, and they were talking about OnlyFans and stuff. And I'd like to do something like that, but I don't want to charge people to come in and be part of a group. I don't put enough work in there to be doing that. And this ain't my livelihood. This is more of me connecting with you, my hobby. Um, so I don't know. I might put something together, maybe have like a round table of people come in, but and do something. I've been thinking about doing a movie. What is that called? Doing like a where I bring some people in and we watch a movie. Have like a what is that called? I've been thinking about doing that. I can't show a movie on YouTube, but I can like bring people in. So many on. There's a program you can do. You can only bring like a certain number of people though, because I've seen other channels do that where they bring people in and watch a movie. I mean, they're not showing the movie on YouTube, but through like a watch party. I'm thinking about doing that.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going. JT, I'm not going to stop the interracial talking at all. I'm going to keep driving that home and talking about it. That's what this channel is mainly about. But I want to do some other things too. Kind of add to it. But the primary part of the channel is interracial relationships. That won't change. But
Well, Brent,
I
if
would
they
like.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if they ever make a movie about my book, I've heard that a lot of movies are being made in New Mexico now, so I'll have to invite you to the set because the writer gets to sit on set when they do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. They make all kinds of movies out here. Down up by Santa Fe, they've got they got like Western towns built just for filming movies out there. Um, well, we got movie studios. We got in Albuquerque, we got a couple, and then up in Santa Fe. I mean, they're making movies out here all the time, and I think they get tax breaks and stuff because it's so much cheaper than doing it out in California and stuff. But I mean, yeah,
Yeah, they're taxing them to death in California.
yeah. But yeah, they make a lot of movies out here. I know some people that have been extras in movies where they pay them to go in there and just like walk across the road or something. And I know like for westerns, a lot of Native Americans I know that go and be extras, in like western films and stuff. And it's I mean
That's actually pretty cool.
that is cool, yeah. And I don't know what they pay you. I think you get maybe a couple $100 or something to go out there and just be an extra.
Probably day wage.
Yeah. But that's still neat. I mean, if I wasn't doing nothing and I would have a chance to be an extra, I'd do it just to just say I did it. But yeah, yeah, they make a lot of movies out here. Yeah, it's you remember the series Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but yeah.
Yeah, that was filmed out here, and a lot of places that I go hiking with my dad. I've been to it. That old gas station that had the big chief. I drive by that all the time. That's close to where I live. The actual house where he lived in, that's like a mile from where my dad lives. I mean, it's crazy seeing the stuff when I watched the series. I was seeing, man, I've been there. It's
And
kind of
stuff that's
weird.
normal to you is different to everybody else.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you're from New Mexico? Oh, that's where Breaking Bad was. Oh, that's all you know about our state? Uh, a show about meth? I mean, really? We're more than that. Come on now.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah,
Mm.
they film a lot out here. But they get tax breaks and stuff. Alec Baldwin was filming a movie out here where he had the accidental shooting, and
Yeah, that's still going on too.
yeah, I don't know how they do that. How they make that mistake? Don't they have a weapons expert on the set? You would think, I don't know. I
Yeah, I'm
mean, when you
thinking that
deal,
weapons expert was, oof. I mean, if you, from me, I mean, I handle firearms all the time.
yeah, yeah, I do
And
too.
yeah, you're military or
Yeah,
retired,
yeah,
but you don't leave a weapon loaded. And if
no,
you never, I mean, and if you do, it's usually in clip form that comes right out.
yeah,
But no, I mean, to just hand something to somebody and not look,
yeah,
oof.
exactly.
Even if you got to, I mean, because them old single sixes, even if you got to unload it, you can
That
look
won't.
in the cylinder and
But
see if it's
I
got
would
a
like.
cartridge.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, welcome to the show. Good to
Yeah,
see you.
sorry, I didn't mean to come pop up again.
Oh
No, you're
no
fine.
worries. You can pop up as many times as you want.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I had like a lot of questions, but it doesn't have to do with interracial. But it was something that you were talking about earlier.
Uh,
The army.
yeah.
Yeah, I had questions about that, and I was wondering if you had like an email or something so I can ask you there, or is it okay if I ask you?
I do have an email, and it's in the description box. It's also on my community page. Um, I don't mind you asking as long as it ain't, mean or tearing someone down or, stuff like that. I mean,
Oh
or
no,
nothing
army.
controversial. Um, I mean, I don't mind you asking controversial things, but YouTube's kind of sensitive about stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, you can ask me. You can ask me here, or you can email me. Um, I could put my email on the chat if you want, or
I was gonna ask
yeah.
you now, since you guys
Okay,
said that we can talk about anything.
okay, yeah,
Okay, so I was thinking about going to the army for a while now, like the Air Force.
okay.
I do have a bachelor's degree from overseas, but I don't know how to get into it. And I was wondering if I can ask you about it.
How to get into the army,
The Air Force?
the Air Force?
Yes.
Um, well, you go talk to a recruiter, and they'll bring you in, they'll test you, and they'll probably talk to you about what you want to do, and your opportunities in the military, regardless of what branch. Um, it's going to depend on your test scores. When you take the ASVAB test, and they'll go off that, and that's kind of how they place people. But the higher you score, the more opportunities you have. So, I mean, you talk to a computer, no, a recruiter,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you know, um, I mean, the military is good. I'm going to say this. I spent 20 years in the army. Well, at first I spent 3 years in the Navy, and then I went in the army for 20 years. Um, and I have no regrets. I mean, the army has, you know, uh, helped me, and in life in so many ways. It's helped me. Not only do I have a retirement, but it helped me get the job I got now, and it taught me, a trait, and it really helped me. It was a blessing. It was a positive. Now the downfall in it, you know, you can be in a, you know, a wartime situation, that's what we do in the military. We fight wars, so you could end up in that. Um, there's dangers that come along with it. Um, and you'll be away from the family a lot. I mean, there's good and bad with it. Um, I have no regrets. I'd do it all over again. Um,
I was just
I
interested. Yeah.
yeah, but I would talk to a recruiter, and I would talk to someone that's been in the military also, because these recruiters will sweet talk you and promise you all kinds of stuff, and that they might not be able to deliver. Um,
Yeah, that happens.
That's
it
what
it
I'm trying
it,
to do.
it does. When it Now I don't know what they can offer you. Like I said, they go by the test scores and
Mm.
how well you do and what they have open. Like, let's say you wanted to be Air Force. Let's say you wanted to be
Translator.
a translator.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if they have an actual MOS for that, or if that's like a special uh, assignment or something. You'd have to talk to a recruiter about that. I don't know if they offer that, but what they'll do is they'll test you, and you say, "Okay, I want to do this." They'll give you like a list of jobs or areas that you can pick, and if they have an opening and your score fits it, they'll plug you into that. Um, but that varies on what they got, that what they can offer, because it goes. They have to put so many people in certain jobs in certain areas, and some areas have more openings because they need more people in there. Like in the army, if you go in the infantry, it's the biggest part of the army. So, but if you wanted to be like a X-ray technician, that field is a little bit smaller. And you have to score a little bit higher because there's not as many needs for that specialized position. Um, but you know, for you to get the job you want, you have to qualify for it, and they go by the scores and how many openings. You might qualify it, but they might not have openings at the time. So it varies in that area. But don't let them say, "Well, yeah, you can. We can't give you this now, but later on you can go and do it." Is that true? Yes and no. Okay. Yeah, it's possible you can go into it later, but it's not guaranteed. It depends on so many factors. So keep that in mind also. The job you pick, you might be stuck with, but it is possible you can do something else. I've seen it done. So, but it's not guaranteed. I would, and you're talking about the Air Force. I I wasn't in the Air Force, so I don't know a lot about the Air Force. I know when they recruit and they place people in positions that they do it off a test score like the Army does and stuff. And I just say be careful. Talk to somebody that's been in the Air Force. What's the Air Force
Okay.
about? Um, and tell them what you want. And if they can't give it to you, don't just settle for anything else. Okay, because if you don't qualify for your test scores, you can retest.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you go into it, and make sure that's what you want to do, because the military, it's what you make it. You know, you can make it work for you. You can learn something. You can get a job skill, and later on, it can propel you into something else.
Mhm.
That's think of it on the long term. Um, and then plus, you get the GI Bill and get some college money and stuff, and that's good. And some people just go in for 4 years to get some college money and serve, and that's fine too. Um, but I would talk to people that have been in it. Don't rely on your recruiter. He has to make a quota, and a lot of times they'll tell you what you want to hear. I'm
Mm.
not saying they're going to lie to you, but they might stretch the truth a little bit, or
Kind of
you
like a
know,
used car salesman.
yeah, Yeah, he might have a good car, you know, it's pretty durable, but your alternator's about to go out and it does have a fuel leak he's not telling you about. Um, keep it in that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Um, and but I mean, the military's good, but you got to be all in. You got to be motivated in it, and you know, and it can work for you. Um,
I've been wanting
but
to join since I was 16, but my father didn't approve, of course.
well, I mean, well, you can't go in till you're 18 anyway.
He
You
wouldn't
can't,
approve even then.
huh?
He wouldn't approve even then.
Yeah. Well, what was he military himself or?
No, he just didn't want me to go out there in the world. He kind of like loved me that much.
Yeah. Well, he's probably being protective of you
Very
because
overprotective.
yeah, and us as fathers, we're protective. I would be cautious of my daughters going in the military. I mean, I wouldn't stop them from doing it. It could work for them. Um, and I was cautious with my son. My son wanted to do it, and I just had the level with him, son. You got to understand, it's what you put into it, and it's not all what you think. And well, he grew up and you know, I spent 20 years in, so my kids have been military brats, so they kind of got an idea of it. But I had the level with them. It's not all what you think. They'll tell you go and see the world. Yeah, but the parts of the world you see aren't the best. You know.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
not all glorious.
yeah, it's not. And but I mean, it is a good career. I mean, you know, it's provided for me and my family, and it's helped me in my career after the army. And you know, I got another pension because of it. So I mean, there's good things. Plus, got some college money out of it, so that's good too. You know, um, make it work for you, but you got to be motivated and believe in what you're doing. If you don't, it's going to be hell. It's going to be, and you know, when you have a family in the military, it's tough too because you're away a lot of times. Um, you know, luckily for me, I've been blessed to have a wife that was strong enough to deal with that. Um, and my wife was an army brat. Her father retired out of the army, so she kind of knew what that life was about. But uh, you know, when you go in, have your goals, what you want to do, and tell that recruiter what you want to do, and don't let them talk you into anything else. If he says, "Well, your test scores didn't make it," okay, I want to retest, and you can study for it. You can get a book on it. Um, they're not going to ask you the same questions, but you know, in the area, uh, you know, I'd say brush up on your math skills. You know, and a lot of it's reading comprehension. You know, it's just a real wide variety of things. When I went in, they made me a mechanic because I scored high in that field. You know, but uh, I mean, there's different jobs you can do in there. But
What do they do like if you score, let's say in math, they take you to like, let's say that I scored to be a translator. Where do they take me to become a translator?
I don't know what the qualifications are for that. I don't even know if they have a job for just translator. It might be uh, a MOS that you know your occupational area. Part of that might be being a translator, but the other part you're doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
I would think it'd probably be like that because you know they don't need a translator all the time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and sometimes the military hires contractors to translate too. So I would look into that. I don't think they have a job where you're just there to be the translator.
Okay,
I,
so let's say mechanic, you score and then you become a mechanic. Like, where do you go to work? Like, you work for them in their base, or?
Yeah, wherever they send you, wherever they need, and when it's a mechanic, it could be. Uh, Me, I was a construction equipment repairer, so um, I worked on construction equipment, and I went with that because it translated into the civilian world, you know. But they might have tank mechanics. You might be a wheel mechanic. You might be a construction mechanic like I was. You might be a helicopter mechanic. You might be. I mean, there's so many fields when it comes to mechanics. It just
Mm.
depends, and where you know your scores and what you qualify for, and how many people they need in that field. The military brings people in to fill in where they need you. Um,
Mhm.
but there's openings in jobs, and the higher scores get better a better choice, you might say. But the bottom line is they need bodies in certain areas, and they're going to plug it in. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, people will, you know, end up doing something they didn't want to originally do because it either they didn't score high enough or it wasn't open at the time, and the recruiter talked them into going into something else, or they just decided, you know what, I don't want to wait. I'll just go into this.
So it
But
all depends on my test scores.
huh?
So it all depends on my studies and my test scores.
Yeah, your
Scores.
test score, how well you do on the ASVAB test, that will determine, and what they got open. But you can go see a recruiter anytime, and go take the ASVAB, and it's a test. You're going to be there all day taking it. They're going to test like reading comprehension, your math skills, different things. I remember on the test they were showing like different tools and what does this do and what's that do, and I knew a lot of that stuff, so I scored high on that. Um, my reading comprehension was kind of low, but being honest, when I went in, I was at a sixth grade reading level, and that's a humble thing that I dealt with. And the Army taught me how to read. I tell people, um, I actually, had to go back into school and get pick up those skills didn't get, in high school. And I graduated high school, but I had to go back and kind of retrain myself. And the Army helped me with that. Uh,
Mm.
but you know, um, they're going to test you, and that's where they figure out where to put people. You know, and sometimes it don't mesh what you want and what they need, but you can get what you want. You just might have to retest, or you might have to wait till it opens, and you can do that. Don't have a recruiter pressure you not to.
What do you
Okay,
think is the best positions?
um well, I don't know. I don't know what you want to do. I mean, you can go on the mechanic side of it. You can go in the medical field. Uh, you might. It depends. What do you want to do? Um, a mechanic's a good thing for me. I like doing it. But for you, you might not like getting dirty. You might not like working on, stuff.
Getting grease in your hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oily.
I used to come home smelling like diesel all the time. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, that's the cologne of a mechanic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, my hands would get so dirty, trying to get the grease out of your nails and stuff.
Borax. Borax was the only thing that worked.
Yeah, and my BDUs, my fatigue uniforms, I've ruined a lot of them working on stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a dirty job, but it depends on what you want. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Are you interested? You said translator. I don't know if they actually have a job for translator, but you ask them about that. They could better tell you about that. Would
My
do you, would you
what
be interested in the medical field? You said you wanted. I know.
study medicine.
Um, Last night, I know you were talking about helping people with like depression and stuff.
Hmm.
You can go into that in I they have like psychologists and people that help people with problems. You can go in the medical field with that. Um,
Mm.
help people with
That's actually a good idea.
depression.
Yeah, that's
And
actually a good idea.
yeah, because the military, they have a lot of people that are dealing with depression. People have seen stuff and you know combat situation. Not all combat, just the life you live. The military life can be it's tough at times, and people go through their ups and downs. People have depression, just like in society. You help people with that. Um, you know, they do have jobs for that, but you got to see, where you qualify. And are you going to come in as a enlisted or an officer? Um,
I think I'm gonna
you
be an officer because I
y-
already have a bachelor's degree.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So you talk to them about going in the officers program, um, and then you go into that field and you get your training, and you could be a doctor, you could be a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I don't know what they classify, dealing with mental health, depression, and stuff like that. Um, and you can do that in the military, and when you get out, go in the civilian world, and do the same thing. Um, that'd be a good opportunity if that's what you wanted to go into. You can do that in the Air Force. I know they got, but you'll have to talk to them what the qualifications are. Um, and yeah, to be an officer, you do have to have a degree to go into the officer program. Um,
Hey,
but
Brent,
yes, sir.
wouldn't her being bilingual, wouldn't she have a better prospect of going into like the interrogation or something where they need a translator?
Um, yeah, maybe like in the COD or some, or not COD, like kind of the criminal investigation part of it.
Well, either that or people that have been because I know in the Air Force a lot of times you end up on the boats and they'll pick up like pirates or somebody that's floating in the water.
Oh, you
Obviously,
mean the Navy?
well, they have Air Force too.
Oh,
Just
I don't let
throwing it
them.
out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
but I don't know. I don't know if that's an actual job though. I think it's like I think it's connected to some certain job because you're not going to translate all the time.
no,
Um,
you got to have a resume.
yeah, but yeah, you just have to talk to them. I don't want to give you false information, but I don't think they have just a translator. I think um that's one of those things they'd use you for it if they needed you for it, but and it depends on where you're at, what language you would have to know. I
I think I like the psychology better because I think that's what I do good at. That's my strength
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and and that would be a good thing because if let's say you don't make the military a career, you can get that skill and go out in the civilian world, or you can retire out of the army and then do it once you retire. Um, but that's a. I always tell people when you go in the military, think of it as long term. If you're just going in to get the experience and get some college money, okay, but you know, you can use the military to work for you. You can get money for college, and you can get a skill.
Hmm.
And you say you like psychology, you get into that. You got your bachelor's degree already, and then through the military, go to school to be trained to do this, and then you have your degree, your certifications, and then you can go do a civilian hospital after your military career and do that there. That's the positive in that. But I mean, you got to put in the work. You got to make it work for you. Like I said, the military is a good thing, and it can be a bad thing depending on you. It's what you make of it.
Why?
Um,
Why would it be a bad thing though?
well, it can be a bad thing if you're not motivated in it. Some people don't like the life of being gone, deployed, and doing with all that. And what makes that bad is it just makes you miserable because you're not really into it. Um, if you have a family and you're not strong enough to deal with it, that could be the bad thing. That's what I'm talking about, the bad. Um, but if you're
Yeah, I don't want to go through
motivated,
this.
yeah, but if you're motivated in it and you put in the work, it can be very positive, very much so. But that depends on you,
Hmm.
you know. But I mean, talk to a recruiter. Don't sign no paperwork, and you know, I would say talk to your parents about it. Your dad might not be for it, but talk to him.
Um,
Um,
that's not an option.
that's not an option. Uh,
My mother or father, it's not an option. It's not really an option.
okay. Well, I mean, it's.
My
I
brother
mean,
already told me to go ahead because for whatever reasons he said that, but my
yeah,
my half brother.
yeah. Well, bottom line, it's your choice. You're an adult, but it's always good to have, if you can get your parents, you know, involved and they see why you're doing it, what reasons, what your goals are. Maybe they might have a different outlook on it.
My
Um,
dad will never let me go. That's why I
never
think.
like,
And then my mother, she just wants me with her all the time, and I want other things in life. Like I want to be independent,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
and I know my brother was like, "If you do you want to be a man or do you want to be a woman?" Because I asked him about real estate because he makes a lot of money actually doing that,
uh-huh,
but he's not actually. I don't know. I'm not getting everything from him. It's kind of like him telling me, "Live your own life. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna
yeah,
advise you." So right now I'm like kind of like, okay, well, I don't know how to be independent. Maybe I should just go to the army. And I'm in it for the good reasons. Like I'm in it because I want to serve and I want
yeah,
to be independent.
yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. Um, but look into it. Get what you want out of it. I mean, get the job you want to do. Don't let them talk you into something else, and that's a trick. A lot of times they'll do. They say, "Okay, you want to do this. Your score ain't there, but later on you can do it. Later on you could change jobs." Well, it's not that easy. I and I've seen people that were told that, and they just can't. And I've seen people that they do change their job. They do make that happen, but it's a possibility. It's not a guarantee. So I would say get what you want when you're going in. Be happy with what field you're going into. Okay.
Yeah, I won't let
Now,
anybody take advantage of me. It's not
yeah,
happening.
yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying they're going to take advantage of you, but they're pressured to make a quota, and you
Yeah,
know,
they'll run you through the process quick.
yeah, and they're pressured to plug people into different jobs and stuff. So just keep that in mind. Okay. There are some good recruiters that'll be honest and help you out, and there's some that'll try to BS you to get you in. So just keep that in mind. Um,
Isn't BSing taking advantage of though?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like I'm saying, some will take advantage of you and tell you they might not lie to you, but tell you what could possibly happen, but making you think that yeah, if I want it to happen, it just happens. And a lot of times it's not that way. Doesn't the civilian, what did Delma
I
say?
just read
Doesn't
that. I was just
Yeah,
reading.
the military does have civilian workers. Yes, yes, it does. Um, a lot in the medical field, like at these military hospitals, have a lot of civilian workers working there. Me as a mechanic, when we were on base, we had civilian mechanics working alongside us. Yes, they do have civilian workers that work with the military. Yes, they do. Um, and a lot of them were retired military. Uh, you know, not all. Gosh, this guy with this. Hey, mods, if you see anybody that's putting these weird stuff out there, just block them. We got some trolls coming in.
Oh, that Russian guy.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what the code means. If they show
Oh
you
my
that code,
god.
if they show you that code, block it.
We
It
talk
it
about the military and then the Russians appear.
they're trying to sabotage your career.
I'm 19. I came real close to joining up with the Marine Corps.
Uh-oh, hey, Corey,
Your mic is acting weird, Corey.
What?
Your mic. Your mic is like,
Oh, I turned it up. Sorry.
oh yeah, it was getting like staticky and
It was
weird
too far from my
stuff.
face.
we would just hear that.
Anyway, uh-oh. Hang on a second. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah, but look into it, research it, and just make sure that's what you want to do. And
there's no other way, like, to become independent. Like
there is, but maybe it's easier with the military. See, the military helped me, kick my butt out of the house and get me going. It helped me it made it easier. And it propelled my career. It really did. It was a blessing. And but I've seen people that went in that it didn't work out for them, that they just hated it, and it just wasn't a good fit for them. And then some of them go out in the civilian world and do wonderful. So it depends on the person. The military, I say, is not for everybody, and it's not. But it works for a lot of people too. So
what do you do though when you're? How is it? Like, what's the daily routine once you get in there?
Well,
is it true that they yell at you and all that stuff? Like,
you spend a lot of time waiting.
Yeah. Well, when you go to basic training and stuff, yeah, what they do is they're trying to bring discipline in and break down the individual and bring you together as a team. So yeah, so you will get yelled at. It's part of the process. And when you go to basic training, don't take it personal. They're just trying to tear you down as an individual and build you up as a team. That's what they're trying to do. When you get in there, you're going to have people from all over the country. From up north, down south, east, west. You're going to meet all kinds of people, and they trying to bring all these different groups together and build you as a team.
I had a drill sergeant that was a Marine. He said he had a guy show up in bib overalls, no shirt, and barefooted at boot camp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just kind of looked at him, and he saw my blank stare like I was in denial, and he goes, "No, it really happened." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm going to have to cut down this show here real quick. I got family coming over and stuff, and I got to start cooking. I'm behind the power curve here.
Yeah, that's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, but I enjoyed talking to you guys, and I enjoyed the love letters and stuff. And I'll be coming on again tonight, 11:30 Eastern time, 8:30 Pacific. 9:30 Mountain, 10:30 Central. Did I get that all right? It's in my community page though. But yeah, I will be going on 11:30 Eastern time and celebrating the new year. I'm gonna reflect on the channel and stuff, and I'll you guys can come up and tell New Year's resolutions or just talk. We'll just have a fun show. No specific topic. We'll just come on and reflect the new year and celebrate it and have a good time.
Okay.
But Sarah, thanks for coming on. Good talking to you. And research. I'm gonna pray for you. And the military is a good thing, but just make sure you get what you want out of it. Okay.
Okay.
And Corey, thanks for coming on, sir. Always good talking to you too. But I'll see you guys tonight.
Okay.
If you guys ain't doing anything, you're welcome to come on, and I'll have an open platform too if you guys want to come on. also. And I'll
Yeah,
just
I
keep
got
the
a letter to write.
yeah. Corey's got a letter to write. And if you guys didn't get to write a letter and you want to read it tonight, you can do that also. Okay.
Awesome.
So,
My
but
wife now.
anyway, guys, I'll see you later tonight. It was good talking to you. I enjoy you guys so much. I've been on a little long. I'm way behind. I got to get cooking. But you guys enjoy your day. I'll see you guys tonight. We'll celebrate the New Year's together, and always blessing talking to you guys. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you tonight.
Thank you. God
Uh,
bless you.
God bless you, Sarah and Corey.
See you later. Okay.
All right. See you guys later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.